Save a buck or two.
Brand new Staples Center in Los Angeles. Much anticipated mid-season matchup between the teams with the two best records in the NBA. The Lakers are 33-7 on the heels of a 16-game winning streak. They've dropped 2 of their last 4, but they still have the league's best record. Portland not that far behind. This is the 5th game of a 5-game road swing for them. They won in Phoenix, lost consecutive games at Dallas and Houston before regrouping to beat the Spurs in San Antonio. They come in here for their 3rd of 4 regular season meetings against the Lakers. They've split the first 2. Each team won handily at home. Doug Collins.
Bob, 2 excellent defensive teams, so we expect a low-scoring game today.
A look at the lineups. The officials are Danny Crawford, Ronnie Nunn, and Mark Davis.
Bob, one thing, when we talked to Phil Jackson yesterday, the team has been lethargic since they came back from the trip. They had their 16-game winning streak broken. Last 3 games at home, low energy. Very excited. Feels like he needs this kind of opponent today to get his team to refocus, regain the energy they've had when they were playing so well.
Arvydas Sabonis will jump center against Shaquille O'Neal, but they'll use 5 different guys at least at times in this game on Shaq. So in effect, if you want to stretch it to the absurd limit, they have 30 fouls to use on it.
Well, that's true, and they activate Joe Klein today to give him another center. He's only played 18 minutes all season long, but they've all been against Shaquille O'Neal.
Here's the ageless A.C. Green and Glenn Rice. Harper looking for Shaq. 8 on the 24. Nice look inside, and Harper hits the reverse.
Now, Scotty is a great team defender, and you're going to see him roam out there defensively. That time, Shaq read the defense nicely, found the double team, found the open man.
Rice opens on Pippen. Steve Smith with daylight to tie it.
They love to run that play. The first play of the game gets Steve Smith a jump shot. He's their best shooter.
Actually, he's a step behind the line. They have the lead on the 3. Here's Rice with Smith on him, giving it up to Harper. Shaq turns to face Sabonis. Spin move, and the jumper is good.
He's going to make that shot. He's an indefensible player because what you want to do is keep him out of that paint, because once he gets in there, you have to foul him. Sabonis has got to stay out of foul trouble here early in this game.
Sabonis connects on the hook.
And that's the reason why, Bob, is because Shaq has to guard him. He has to honor the fact that he can make shots.
Age and injuries have slowed him, but he still has a fine shooting touch, and he's always had excellent court sense. Tremendous passer for a man his size. Mismatch, Stoudamire on Bryant. Out to Harper. Green's wide open.
In the double teams, Bob, Portland is going to make Harper and A.C. Green be the guys who make shots. You see Scotty coming over the double team on Kobe and Shaq.
Sabonis. The first missed shot for either team. Combined, they'd hit their first 5 from the floor. Kobe. And the Lakers stay hot. Wallace screens for Stoudamire. Bryant fights it off. Stoudamire into the lane. Misses badly, ill-advised shot. Wallace gets back and picks off the outlet. Into Wallace, who slams it.
We have seen such flashes of brilliance from Rasheed Wallace last year in the playoffs. Bob, I think he's the key to their championship hopes. He has got to stay focused, keep his emotion, and stay on this floor and be an all-star for this team to have a chance to win a championship.
O'Neal with the emphatic follow off the Harper miss. Back to Rasheed Wallace. He's explosive in both senses of the word. You saw it on the court in terms of the slam a moment ago, but he leads the league with 16 technical fouls, and he had a big week, back-to-back ejections at Phoenix and Dallas. Pippen. Rasheed Wallace's 16 tees, first in the league. Gary Payton of Seattle next with 10, so he's coming close to lapping the field. Pippen reaches in and pokes it away from his former teammate Harper, but Wallace had it go off him and out of bounds.
Those long arms of Scottie Pippen. He's always reaching in to flick that ball away from the dribbler. The guy exposes that basketball. He's had 20 steals now in his last 9 games.
Lakers by 1, 10-9. Bryant spinning. And a whistle from Danny Crawford. The foul is on Pippen. Kobe averaging a shade under 23 a game. They don't always go head-to-head. In the games the Lakers have won the last couple of years against either the Rockets or the Trailblazers, as you see, Kobe has gotten the better of Pippen. Scottie did have a 37-point game, though, in the playoffs last year for the Rockets against the Lakers.
Kobe always gets excited to play against the best players in the league. That's where he feels like he tests himself, and he feels Scottie's one of those players.
He split the 2 free throws. Lakers by 2. Pippen in the lane to tie it.
That's a great shot over Shaq. Shaq came over to block the shot, and Scottie high off the glass, using that backboard very nicely.
Bryant cans the 3. The Lakers are on fire.
Well, he's got off to a great start, but the thing I like about it, I'm sure Phil Jackson does also, is he's playing in the rhythm of the offense. He's not trying to do things too quickly on his own.
AC Green trying to contend with Rasheed Wallace, who backs him in and scores.
See, that's the versatility, Bob, of Rasheed Wallace. He can post you, he can step out on the floor, shoot it, he can run like a guard and finish on the break. He is their most talented player.
Wednesday in San Antonio, he outscored Tim Duncan 22-9. Shaq finding Harper, who passes up the shot. Now he'll unleash a 3.
See, that foils all that defensive philosophy. See, I want to make this guy make shots. And Ron Harper reminds me a lot of Dennis Johnson when he played for the Boston Celtics. Not a good shooter, but makes timely shots.
Wallace, the turnaround. And O'Neal, the rebound. The Lakers have hit 7 of 8 so far. Portland, not too far behind, 6 of 9. Off the O'Neal miss, Steve Smith has the rebound. Takes it all the way and connects over Bryant's defense.
Just that little subtle head and shoulder fake froze Kobe enough to allow him to get inside and get the layup.
Lakers lead it by 2, 6:44 to play in the first.
Doubleheaders next Saturday and Sunday. The NBA on NBC.
So, Jimmy, who's the best Super Bowl team ever?
Well, Rebecca, football is a complicated sport most women don't understand. But I'd have to say Dallas and their gloomy day defense.
You mean Doomsday Defense?
Then there's the Pittsburgh Satin Curtain.
No, Steel Curtain.
Whatever. At least we both drink Miller Lite because it tastes great, right?
Well, actually, I like it because it's less filling, but it's nice to drink with such a football expert.
You know, I was a guard for the Packers.
Jimmy, you were parking lot security.
Taste the true Pilsner.
Are you looking down my shirt?
Sorry, Slugger. Sold out. Better luck next time.
We've had success with that.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Our company's made huge strides in e-commerce.
No, who hasn't?
We've got web-based order tracking. We can analyze our customer data in all kinds of ways. I mean, it's amazing.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's the same with us.
Yeah. So how did you guys integrate your ERP?
Burp?
Confused about e-business? Don't be. Get the software, services, and partners that make it easier. The business internet starts with Microsoft.
This Monday, the game is on. Catch a special Monday episode of 21. The biggest winners on television. A special Monday 21, 9/8 Central on NBC. Monday's newest hit.
Who's been hurt?
On Third Watch, the crew pulls together.
You be a hero, all right?
For an incredible save. A decision to trust in love again. and a new partner with his own set of rules.
If you're going to be with him, you're going to be around stuff. Don't see it. That's all.
All new Third Watch, NBC Monday.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by Miller Lite, taste a true Pilsner. By HP, Silicon Valley's original company of inventors. And by Nike.
After a little more than 5 minutes, these teams are both sizzling from the floor, and the score 17-15 in favor of the Lakers. Now, a formal introduction, since we joined you on the fly. This, my friends, is Doug Collins.
Thank you, Bob Costas.
There you go.
Well, Bob, let's talk a little bit about the Lakers' big three offensively, okay? A lot like the Chicago Bulls championship teams were built with Pippen, Jordan, Kukoc, Pippen, Grant, and Jordan, the three big scorers. You see, the Lakers have that same mentality. 68 points a game, 68% of their offense. The role players do what they're supposed to do. These guys do the scoring. You can see off to a great start here. Kobe and Shaq already 10 points here to start this game.
Against some pressure, the Lakers get it out of the backcourt. Rice. Man, what a pace early. Sabonis, the hook.
You know, I talked to Mike Dunleavy about Sabonis, and I said, do you know when his legs are feeling a little fresh or when he's struggling? He said, I can always tell if his shot is flat. Bob, we've seen there early, two nice little jump hooks, nice arch. He had a nice little shot on the perimeter that looked good also. He looks good today.
How often do you think a guy 7'3" and 292 has been weaker than his opponent over the course of his career as Bryant misses? But that's the case. He's got to worry about Shaq shoving him around on the low block. Wallace, jump hook, no good. Rebound, Harper. Harper very active in this first period and draws the whistle. Foul is on Sabonis.
The acrobatic, spectacular play of Kobe Bryant. Now, he's not going to finish this shot, but look at him go to the basket. Damon Stoudamire tries to put his body on him. He just leaps. Look at the great left-hand catch, all in one motion. A spectacular play, but no finish. But that gives you a little idea about the ability that Kobe has when he goes to the basket.
Ron Harper at the line. Turned 36 on Thursday, so Phil Jackson has to be careful to pace him during the regular season to have him fresh for the playoffs. Once a 20-point scorer in his days with the Clippers and the Cavaliers, but for many years now a role player for Phil Jackson in L.A., just as he had been for Jackson in Chicago. He makes one of two.
Well, the reason he wanted him here also, too, because he knows the intricacies of the triangle offense, and he says he's a good guy out there to keep us stable when we get lost out there offensively.
Stoudamire jitterbugging and hitting.
Tough matchup there for Kobe. I mean, Kobe's quick at 6'7", but Damon Stoudamire, as you said, jitterbugging there. That herky-jerky move is tough to defend.
Harper around Pippen, then circles back out. Six on the shot clock. Kobe.
Why Phil Jackson likes big guards. See, Stoudamire's got to guard either Harper or Kobe Bryant. That time he goes into the post against Kobe. No help defensively.
Sabonis swings it to Pippen. The fake on Rice and the leaning jumper good off the glass.
Scotty's about a 60% shooter when he gets on the angle, when he can use that backboard. That's his favorite shot. You get him out where he has to shoot it straight on, his percentage goes way down.
Harper looking for O'Neal. They broke it up and Sabonis has it. Steve Smith, catch and shoot. And the Trailblazers have the lead despite the fact that the Lakers have made 9 of 12 from the field.
Can you tell that both of these teams realize it's a big game? Their concentration's there, but more importantly, they've had some days off. They have fresh legs. We're seeing it here today in the play.
Kobe, baseline jumper. And the rebound is taken away from O'Neal by the 5'10" Stoudamire. Smith leans and misses. Rebound to Rice. The Blazers are now 11 of 16 from the floor. So neither team has cooled off. O'Neal. Could have been a three-point play. As it is, he'll come to the free throw line.
But offensively, we talked about the big three of the Lakers and how they score. For Portland, it's depth. It's the big five. Rasheed Wallace-Smith, you see their starters. But again, this combines for almost 69% of their team's points. So two different philosophies. You see the big three for the Lakers doing the scoring, the big five, and you can see what they've done today. All of them off to a very good start. This is a balanced team. They feel that during the course of a season, the depth and balance will get them to where they want to get come playoff time.
Shaquille O'Neal misses the first. Derek Fisher's about to check in, and Rice is going to go out. No, it's Ron Harper who goes out, and Rice remains in. O'Neal is shooting 45% from the line. No one else in the league who has attempted as many as 100 free throws is any lower than 56%. He's worked very hard in practice, but as Phil Jackson says, and he misses them both, but Fisher chases the rebound down, he's just reinforcing bad habits because he's practicing everything he's doing wrong until he changes his entire approach. Kobe Bryant hitting off the glass. Until he changes his entire approach, says Jackson, he'll continue to struggle.
Well, you know what? He's got a routine now. You can see he's got a routine. The big thing he's got to do is got to get some arch on his shot. His shot is so flat, there's no margin of error when he misses.
Stoudamire, 5 on the shot clock. He got a screen from Sabonis, but couldn't hit. Tied at 24. Sabonis poked it away. Rice there to pick it up. Wallace has the rebound. Steve Smith. And the Trailblazers take the lead.
How about the screen and the patience by Steve Smith? He couldn't get him one way. Sabonis screens him the other way, goes back the other way, buries him with a pick, and he hits the wide-open jump shot.
Smith has 10 points in this first quarter. Derek Fisher. O'Neal hits the putback.
Now, Portland, what they want to do, we talked to Dunleavy yesterday, was they wanted to face guard Shaq on the offensive board, turn and face him, and try not to let him get near the basketball. That time he just walked him right in. He is so powerful, just walked himself right into the basket.
Scotty misses the three, and Shaq is alone under the glass.
I don't think Mike Dunleavy wants those quick, long jump shots. That's when Portland gets themselves in trouble.
Rice, short. O'Neal will give them a fresh 24. Nice pass to Rice, but it rattles out. Terrific pass by O'Neal, but he's denied the assist. Stoudamire on the move, finding Pippen. Wallace trailing the play, and he's the beneficiary.
Great passing team. Portland moves the basketball to the open man. They trust, they believe in each other. This is one of the teams that leads. It's one of the league leaders in assist to field goal ratio. They will make the extra pass.
Mike Dunleavy says it's the best passing team he's ever played on or coached.
Now, wait a second. He played with me. I passed.
Occasionally. Bryant. He's got a dozen. Any night when your assists outstrip your shot attempts, something was wrong. Stoudamire, nice move.
Stoudamire likes this matchup a little bit better. He realizes he doesn't have to work so hard to get the shot over a 6'7" defender. He can shoot over Derek Fisher.
Game clock overlapping the shot clock just by a bit as Fisher drives and throws up a ridiculous shot that finds the net. Last 4 seconds. Stoudamire can't control it, and there's the horn. Terrific first period. Ends tied at 30.
Bob, as I said, both two great defensive teams. This is going to be a low-scoring game. Derek Fisher here with a great finish off the glass, and we got a 30-30 game.
And the teams combined to shoot 65% in the quarter.
right here, buddy. It's icy cold and tasting great. Now, come on, Jeff, you tell me. Is there anybody in this world who deserves this here Pepsi more than you?
Hi, Jeff.
See you later, Jeff.
Now, that's what I call motivation.
I don't know where she came from.
Don't worry, Jeff. There's always Daytona.
Would you like to come to the beach with me? Do you have a girlfriend?
Why? I saw them kill 4 people.
On February 11th,
He wants to know what happened.
Out of the question.
Paradise has its price.
May God take your soul.
Leonardo DiCaprio. The Beach, rated R. February 11th, only in theaters.
If you're looking for horsepower, look at Chevy Silverado. Because Silverado has the most powerful V8 of any 4x4 pickup. More powerful than Dodge. More powerful than Ford. 300 horsepower. That's why it's the truck. Silverado from Chevy. A tribute to the spirit of 2 men who lost their lives in pursuit of their dreams. A special North Face expedition. Shishipangma, a celebration of life. Sunday on NBC.
Ahmad Rashad back at the Staples Center here in L.A. Now, the Lakers with the best record in the league, Shaquille O'Neal playing like an MVP. I asked him the difference between this year and last year, and he said, what people don't really know, last year I was really hampered with stomach muscle pull and couldn't move at all. He said, this year I'm playing pain-free and playing like the Diggy Dondada can play. Now, the Diggy Dondada, that's just one of Shaq's many nicknames for himself, and one that I sort of like. Bob?
Ahmad, I'm compelled to ask you, what is the Diggy Dondada?
Yeah, the Diggy Dondada is that big fella out there that's wearing 34.
There you go. Thanks for the help. Robert Ory has checked in as the second period begins, and Brian Grant, whose minutes have been cut down as he recuperates from off-season knee surgery, makes his first appearance in the lineup for the Trailblazers.
Bob, I asked Mike Dunleavy about Brian Grant, about where he was physically. He said, I think he's back 100% physically. He's just lost a little confidence offensively, and his conditioning is not quite where we'd like it right now, but he's getting better.
Other changes, Stacey Augmon in the game. That's him, number 2. Bonzi Wells is also on the court. Augmon beat the 24-second clock. Grant flew in on the offensive glass, and there's a foul on the play.
When Brian Grant is at his best, that's what he does. He gets to the offensive boards, and he gives them a toughness and a presence. Remember how good he was in the Utah series last year against Malone when they eliminated the Utah Jazz. Now, when we look at the team out there, Phil Jackson said, I'm worried about Bonzi Wells, so they're going to try to post him. Let's see if he gets going.
This is Wells with the fadeaway. Grant battling O'Neal and fouled him over the back. The Blazers have the red headband brigade in there. Stoudamire is the only one not making that fashion statement.
Well, it's interesting that Damon is still on the floor. Normally at this period of time, Greg Anthony would come in and he would play the second quarter and then usually a lot of the fourth. So Mike Dunleavy's staying with Damon Stoudamire.
Wells on Rice. Into Shaq for the jump hook that's no good. And it's out of bounds to the Trailblazers. Shot clock at 8. Stoudamire hits it from 20 feet. Trailblazers by 2. Rice had it knocked away, but Ronnie Nunn spots a foul. And folks, you can log on to MSNBCSports.com and email Bill Walton your NBA questions. Plus, check out commentary by Bill, Steve Jones, and Matt Gukas on Michael Jordan's return to the NBA as head of basketball operations for the Wizards. MSNBCSports.com, the official website of NBC Sports. Lakers are just 2 for 6 from the line, and Rice makes the first. The Lakers, primarily because of Shaquille O'Neal's difficulties, are the worst free throw shooting team in the league. They are not a good three-point shooting team overall, but they shoot a very high overall field goal percentage. They're an excellent rebounding team, and Shaq is primarily responsible for both those stats.
Now, I think if you look at the Lakers' weaknesses, it would be obviously free throw shooting because of Shaq. More importantly, they're not a good perimeter shooting team. Other than Glenn Rice, they struggle when they get forced to shoot a lot of jump shots.
Stoudamire to the glass, but he misses. Shaq outlets to Kobe. He pulls up and hits.
I see Phil Jackson doesn't mind that shot because that shot is in rhythm, and you've got a guy going to the board, so if you miss it, you got a chance to get the shot back.
Jackson has been critical of some of Bryant's choices on the floor earlier this season, and Kobe is pretty diplomatic about it. He says, look, he's here to teach, I'm here to learn.
Well, what Phil wants to do is channel all that energy and talent, so Kobe lets the game become easier to him rather than expend so much energy and get himself in positions where he turns the ball over.
Portland turnover, Laker ball. Los Angeles leads by 2. And Rice makes it 4. Just a step inside the three-point line.
Well, Glenn Rice is a catch-and-shoot player. You cannot let him just catch, get his rhythm, and jump up and shoot. You've got to make him put the ball on the floor to create his shot.
Oh, it's not them too. Okay, we're going to go back from the start, and we'll start it all over again, okay? And we'll keep an eye on it and make sure we don't have a problem there.
Bit of a problem with the shot clock, and that's why Danny Crawford stopped play for a moment. Here's what Shaq has done so far. 6 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists.
How often do we see Shaq come out in big games last year and have monster first quarters? Felt like he had to win the game in the first quarter and run out of gas at the end of the game. He's not doing that this year. He's getting them during the course of the game because he's playing 40-plus minutes, so he knows he's going to be out there, and he's just taking his time.
Yeah, he is playing big minutes. In fact, recently he's been averaging 44, 45 minutes a game.
Kobe Bryant, at his best in the open floor, got his head up, gets to that line, pulls up and shoots the shot, all in rhythm, knocks it down, off to an excellent start today. And you're watching the NBA on NBC.
NBA Inside Stuff magazine on newsstands now.
As you well know, I love beer. Let's go back and talk about the brewing process. Let's talk about what are the key ingredients in beer. The yeast is an integral part of the taste profile of the beer. Change the yeast, you change the beer. It was one of the things that Adolphus Busch brought when he brought his ingredients and formula for Budweiser to the United States. Then we have the barley malt. The barley malt is the soul of the beer. From there, let's talk about hops. We are selecting the hops today as he did years ago. We have a hop farm in Germany. We have a hop farm in the northwestern part of the United States. Blend those things and you have what Anheuser-Busch is all about.
Whoa.
Oh, you want to race? You don't have a chance. What? You thirsty? Let's go.
Now there's a Chevy Venture with flip and fold seats and a built-in entertainment system.
I knew I should have taken a left turn at Albuquerque.
Fun things are bound to happen when Chevy and Warner Brothers get together. Introducing the new Warner Brothers edition from Chevy Venture, the most versatile minivan ever. One quick call can help you learn more.
Let's go!
You and Kobe, ease up. We got a good game going, okay? None of that stuff. Both ways, Kobe. There you go. Thank you, Rasheed. You know, you've been so helpful tonight.
Danny Crawford chatting with Rasheed Wallace, always the official's best friend.
Oh, Danny's he's a tremendous official, and, you know, he realizes, you know, that Rasheed's had some ejections, and he's just trying to lighten the mood there in a very emotional game like this. That's good refereeing. That's fun to watch.
Stoudamire behind the screen, and Damon Stoudamire, who normally sits in the second quarter in favor of Greg Anthony, has played from the opening tap.
I think one of the reasons he's playing so well, he's hitting his shot, and Mike Dunleavy's saying, I'm going to stay with a hot hand. When he cools down, I'll come in with Anthony. That's the way you coach.
Robert Horry with the mask to protect the broken nose, gives it up to Rice. It's off Shaq's fingertips. He recovers. 6 seconds to shoot. Fisher with the right hand, and a foul. Bonzi Wells picks it up.
Well, Damon Stoudamire is so quick with that crossover dribble, and you see he's a herky-jerky player. He's tough to get any kind of rhythm playing against. He gets himself on balance, and he knocks the shot in. And you see what Stoudamire normally does, Bob. First and third quarters, normally when he gets his points, because that's when he plays, that's when he gets his shots up. And then you see Anthony more second and fourth quarters. Now, remember last year in the playoff, Damon Stoudamire got himself in trouble a little bit when he said, I want to play more, I want to be out there. Remember in the Western Conference Finals against San Antonio, the fans got upset with him. They got swept. I think he learned a valuable lesson. I think if you're going to win a championship, you got to blend in, and he's doing a great job of that.
Glenn Rice out, Rick Fox in, Bonzi Wells to the bench for the Trailblazers. The veteran Detlef Schrempf comes into the game. And Derek Fisher, whose minutes have gone up after the retirement of Derek Harper, with whom he shared the point guard spot a good portion of last year, makes both free throws. Lakers by 4. Stacey Augmon out to Brian Grant, who misses the jumper, and O'Neal is there for the rebound.
Reluctant outside shooter. Remember last year in the playoffs, Brian Grant just does not want to pull the trigger on that. He's more comfortable posting.
Horry given room, and he misses. Rasheed Wallace. The rebound to Fox. Kobe. A step inside the three-point line. He's got 16.
That's a shot you hope he takes, because you don't think he's going to shoot a high percentage. You want to keep him out of the lane, penetrating, getting to the free throw line. Today he's making that shot. Tough to handle him on a day like this when he's shooting so well.
Lakers by 6. Augmon in a crowd, and a foul on Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant working in the triangle without the ball, and to have success in the triangle, you have to be patient. Rhythm, step out, shoot the shot. You can see nothing in a hurry today.
Second foul on Bryant, not in the act of shooting. Lakers are on a 10-2 run. Trailblazer ball from the side. They trail by 6. Stacey Augmon cuts it to 4.
Stacey Augmon is a very good low-post player. I coached him in Detroit for about 2 months, and in Atlanta, when he played his best basketball, he was a guy that you could throw that ball to on the block, and he could score, and was an excellent free throw shooter in late-game situations.
Grant trying to contend with O'Neal. Back to Shaq in the paint, misses the jump hook, and Wallace, whose rebounding numbers are not as good as the Blazers hope they eventually will be, takes that one. Wallace knocked away cleanly. Horry has it. Fisher's pass to Bryant. He sets it down emphatically.
Now everybody's talking about the finish, and what a magnificent finish, but the pass is what made that play. That was a gorgeous bounce pass right over the back foot of the defender to Kobe from Derek Fisher.
Kobe's 8 for 10. He's got 18 points. Stoudamire Misses the three. Wallace is there on the offensive glass to Grant for the hook. And Horry will take it. Fisher, stutter step move, and he's stripped as he comes through the lane. Here's Stoudamire racing back to lay it in off the pass from Schrempf. Ogman on Bryant. He slips him, tries to hit Fisher. Stoudamire kicked it. It'll still be Laker ball.
Rick Fox is not a shot blocker, but what he is, he will strip big men on the way up. It leads to a fast break. The gorgeous play from Derek Fisher to Kobe Bryant. He throws it right by Stacey Augmon. The vicious slam dunk. The Lakers lead by 4. Kobe Bryant off to a magnificent start.
What's on for today?
Boss wants you, me, and Charlie to take the new Silverado and move them bales.
Is that Charlie?
Chevy Silverado has the most powerful V8 of any 4x4 pickup.
Then we gotta water the herd.
300 horses make it more powerful.
If there's any daylight left, we'll take Norm up to see the ladies.
More powerful than Ford and Dodge. That's why it's the truck. Silverado from Chevy.
Well, guess that's enough for today.
It's the new year. Breaking your resolutions yet? Don't worry about it. Time to search at snap.com. Want to make nice with bathroom scale? Use Snap's workout planner or find a personal trainer. I call mine Sven. Job hunting? Go to Snap's Career Center. Check out the classifieds for a better job. No promises you'll be a CEO, but how about winning a CEO salary for a day? Just enter snap.com's New Year, New You sweepstakes. Search, find, and win in Snap at snap.com, part of NBC Internet.
With Phil Jackson leading the way, the Lakers look like the NBA's next dynasty. Now, Jackson directs the league's top team against Karl Malone, John Stockton, and heated rival Utah. Lakers Jazz, 8 Eastern Monday. CBS NBA Monday.
Monday night is yours on the Superstation.
Next Saturday, an NBA on NBC doubleheader. First, the mighty Jazz and Karl Malone meet the T-Wolves and Kevin Garnett in a matchup of division rivals. Then it's a rematch of last year's Western Conference Finals, where the Spurs face the Blazers. NBA Showtime, 3:30 Eastern, Game 4 Eastern. The NBA on NBC next Saturday. The NBA on NBC is brought to you by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, the official beer sponsor of the NBA. By Chevrolet, Chevy, we'll be there. And by Snap, the fast, easy way to search the internet.
Very fast-paced first half. The objective of some of the new rules instituted this year was to get a more free-flowing game going. In general, teams are averaging about 6 more points per team per game, so 12 more combined per game. And the average NBA game features 9 more shots and about 3 more fouls than a game of a year ago.
I think it's a much better game to watch now. I know the players like it better. Sometimes they complain about the touch fouls, but it's a much more free-flowing game, and you're seeing the greatness of these wonderful athletes.
Fisher for 3. Way off. And Schrempf picks it up. Scottie Pippen back in after a breather. Grant baseline. Horry is alone for the rebound.
See, they have to make that shot. Shaq's not going to come out and play him. The Blazer big men have to make that 15-foot jump shot.
Foul away from the ball as Harper brought it across. Brian Grant picks up the personal. He's also 0 for 3 from the floor so far.
See, the Lakers' defensive philosophy is we want to contain dribble penetration. Don't let people get to the basket and make them shoot jump shots. Portland early shot lights out, got up to a great start. They're not shooting as well now, but they have not shot any free throws, Bob. They have not gotten in the lane at all in this entire first half.
Shaq over the smaller Grant. He leads the league in field goal percentage at 57%. Steve Smith Arcs it high and hits it.
I tell you, when I coached in Detroit, we played them at the Atlanta Hawks in the playoffs. That guy is a big game shooter. Very good low post player and a clutch shooter against that clock.
Grant's only 6'9", trying to guard Shaq. Harper, the head fake, and the jumper.
See, Scotty can't bite on that. He's got to make Harper shoot that three. And the reason he did buy that fake, Bob, is because Harper made a three earlier in the game.
Greg Anthony in the lineup for the first time. Gives it up to Pippen. Smith over Harper. A whistle on the release. The basket counts. 14 points now for Smith.
You want Ron Harper to shoot perimeter shots, especially behind the three-point line. Scotty comes out to help. He bites on the fake, the little escape dribble. Now he gets into about 12, 14, 15 feet, and he makes the shot. Scotty knows he made a mistake there, and Harper took advantage of it.
Foul on Harper, his first. Steve Smith, 6 of 7 from the floor. Smith, a member of the Olympic team, coming up in a few months in Sydney. Interesting thing about these Blazers, they might be the deepest team in the league. They have 5 guys averaging in double figures. They might not have an all-star because of the way they play. No one puts up huge individual numbers. Derek Fisher hits.
Well, that's what we talked to the Blazers yesterday. They all talked about that. Was, you know, if guys played more minutes and were more selfish, they could have guys that would put up all-star numbers.
Detlef Schrempf, blocked by Ori. And out of bounds, it's still Blazer ball.
One of the big question marks now for the Lakers coming into the year was, did they have a power forward? They were concerned. Well, A.C. Green and Robert Horry have combined in the 48 minutes to give them over 11 rebounds and about 10.5 points a game. They've done a nice job at that position.
Steve Smith misses. Shaq rebounds, outlets to Fisher, but the Blazers get back. Pippen with those long arms nearly pokes it away from Fox. Horry for 3. He's been off from that distance this year, and that used to be a big part of his game. I think if he can't hit that, it really diminishes his value.
Bob, I think with that line move back, it really hurt him.
Smith around Harper. Tough shot. Harper's still a very good defensive player. Made him miss. The lob underneath is picked off by Pippen. Here's Schrempf. Around O'Neal, and it spills out. And a technical foul is called. It's on Dunleavy. At the beginning of this trip, about a week ago in Phoenix, as a team, Portland had 8 turnovers, and Dunleavy and Wallace were both tossed.
Yeah, though in those eight technical fouls that they got, 2 coaches tossed. I was watching the game. I say, how can they win this game? They were actually down 15 points and came back to win that game. Now, one of the things that's always been said, Bob, about the Portland Trailblazer team, they're a very emotional team, even with the trade and all. And one of the things they have to stay away is getting involved too much with the officials. Mike did that for a purpose. He thought that Steve Smith got fouled on the play previous.
Fox missed the foul shot, so the technical doesn't hurt the Blazers unless Dunleavy picks up another one. Lakers by 5. Glenn Rice just back in, catches the pass, squares up on Smith, now drives on him. A nearly impossible shot, but O'Neal is there to clean up the mess.
Well, that's his 12th rebound, at least his 4th offensive rebound, and when you get multiple shots and you're the Lakers, the other team is going to be in trouble.
12 points for O'Neal. And a whistle at the other end from Danny Crawford. Illegal defense was called on the Lakers.
Shaquille O'Neal, watch him work hard. Now, they were supposed to face guard him. They are not face guarding him. He's got a clear path to the basket. He's bigger than anybody. He's stronger. He's that close to the basket. That's 2 points.
Meet Martin Licious, Storm Chaser. Some head for the basement. He heads for a Chevy S10. It's got advantages over Ford Ranger, like better fuel economy, a bigger bed, and standard four-wheel anti-lock brakes on every model. Because if you want to outrun Mother Nature, you need every advantage you can get.
Chevy S10 like a rock.
Where do some of America's most successful people get their start? Did somebody say McDonald's?
Michelin would like to remind you, there's only one safety feature on the road that actually touches the road. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
This is my invention. The silverware instrument. C'est les lunettes éclairantes. You could slide them, but they don't slide by themselves. It worked. It worked. Headlight. It could change somebody's life. 24-hour sunburns. That is the greatest idea I've ever came up in my whole life.
We started out a pretty small business, but it sure wasn't small to us. We needed help, financial help. That's just what we got from the people at American Express Small Business Services. We got equipment financing for bigger stoves and faster computers, a line of credit to keep our cash flow flowing, plus the buying power to help our business grow. 1-800-SUCCESS was the best call we ever made. Like my father says, you can do anything you set your mind to, but you can't do it alone. He's right.
Danny, you sacked him because the last foul on Bryant. What did Bryant do? I mean,
He's got him holding.
I know. Okay, he's blocking him up.
Okay, we'll look for that.
And watch me, he's not coming on a straight line. He's bending and coming to it.
You see, what Mike Dunleavy's talking about is in the post, he feels like that Shaq is coming across and sort of bending in and then sort of dislodging with his strength and throwing the guy out of the way that he had him locked up. That's what he was complaining about. He let his feelings be known. Danny Crawford said, look, I'll watch it, and let's play on. So that's good refereeing and good coaching. Have your discussion and then move on.
Try to plant a seed for later in the game.
Absolutely. You plant that seed. Just watch this for me. That's all.
Smith from behind Wallace's screen. Off-balance jumper no good. He had to unleash it to beat the shot clock. Right through Ori's hands, and it hit the official, Mark Davis.
Now, you know what? That ball hit the official, and the official is ruled in play, and he was standing out of bounds. Otherwise, Ori could have picked that ball up in the air. So that ball hitting the official is why that ball went out of bounds.
Clock ticking down toward 2 minutes remaining in the half. Pippen's pass intercepted by Bryant. He pegs it ahead to Harper, and Ron Harper hits.
This is a guy who used to be dubbed Baby Jordan when he came out of college. He could leap, he could fly. That was sort of a finger roll going to the basket. Not a lot of lift left in those legs, but a lot of knowledge in that brain.
He's got 10. Stoudamire was fouled on the shot. And that's 3 on Kobe Bryant. Stay tuned for Hannah Storm, Isaiah Thomas, and Peter Bessie in our New York studio with the net 0 at the half. They'll have scores and highlights on all of today's NBA action. With the 3 fouls, Kobe has to sit. Brian Shaw makes an appearance. And Arvydas Sabonis is back in, replacing Detlef Schrempf, whose minutes are way down from his Seattle days. After all, he turned 37 yesterday.
And he's such a proud guy. You know, he wants to play and play heavy minutes, and he's a competitor. And it's hard. It's hard to have your minutes and your stats come down. But I think one thing, I know Detlef well enough that he wants to win a championship, and he thinks they can do that here.
Had it knocked away, but a foul. And although that was a fairly subdued reaction by Wallace, you see the sort of thing that can get him in trouble. He checked himself. He wanted to really slam that ball to the floor, and he just did it kind of half-heartedly and avoided the tee.
Bob, he is one of these guys that has to play with emotion. He has to play on the edge. So he can't subdue himself, because then he's not as good a player. But he's got to be able to back away from the things that get him what I call emotionally short-circuited, where he stops playing and gets involved in other things. But he has to play with that edge. That's what makes him very good.
Shaq's 1 of 3 at the line. And makes 1 of 2 on this trip. A lot of MVP talk surrounding Shaq at midseason. He says he still thinks the best he's ever played was in his second year with Orlando. Stoudamire way short with that, and Shaq takes the rebound.
Another quick, long jump shot. Portland's going to have to talk about, we've got to get something going to the basket. Bob, everything is a long jump shot.
Harper. Rebound to Sabonis. Wallace against Ori. Sabonis left alone and makes the Lakers pay.
You get back to the double team, you're Shaq, you go back to help out against Rasheed Wallace. That's the shot Sabonis has to take. Remember, we talked about Mike Dunleavy said our big men must make jump shots.
A 7'3" guy with nearly three-point range. Pass to Shaw from Shaq. And there will be no Shaw-Shaq redemption lines from you, Collins.
I'm not going there.
Lakers touched it last. O'Neal, a much better passer than people might realize, and he's shown flashes of that in the first half.
Well, I think what's happened, too, the style they play, there's a lot of movement, and it's very difficult to know where you're going to double team from, so he's got better looks at guys who are getting open.
He has 5 assists in this first half. 6 seconds to shoot. O'Neal scoops it up. A 3-on-1 break, and it's Ross! And Shaq, running the floor, is there to follow. Lakers by 10 now. And Shaq got a piece of that. He's second in the league behind Alonzo Mourning in blocked shots. Here's Rice. And the charge.
This is why you're talking about an MVP candidate here in Shaquille O'Neal. We know he can score. How about picking up the loose ball, leading the break, look away pass? You think Glenn Rice is going to make this? Maybe not. So I'm going to run the floor, and I'm going to follow it, and I'm going to finish. Take nothing for granted. Goes down on the other end and blocks a jump shot by Rasheed Wallace. They're up 10, got a chance to shoot 2 free throws here to push it to 12 going into halftime.
And coming up on NBC...
It's the star-studded award show where anything can happen.
I'll enjoy it right down to the chewy chocolate center.
The Golden Globes, NBC Sunday at 7, 6 Central.
That's tomorrow night on NBC. With the Golden Globes emanating from L.A., perhaps that accounts for the appearance of folks like Dustin Hoffman and Chris Rock at the game, Glenn Fry, formerly of the Eagles, Jack Nicholson. A moment ago you saw Penny Marshall, Denzel Washington. I haven't seen Hurricane yet, but I hear it's pretty darn good.
I'm going to go to see that myself. I remember living through that experience when Hurricane Carter went through that. I was actually playing with the 76ers, and I remember that going on. That's supposed to be a very powerful movie.
I remember as a kid watching Reuben Hurricane Carter knock Emil Griffith out in one round on the Gillette Friday Night Fights. I was about 10 or 11 years old, and man, Hurricane Carter looked like a fearsome son of a gun to me. Travis Knight is in for the first time. Only 2.5 seconds to go. It'll be Smith from beyond midcourt. And that'll do it. Tied at 30 after 1, but the Lakers own the second quarter and go to the locker room up 10. Stay tuned for the net zero at the half. You're watching the NBA on NBC.
Come on. America Online new version 5.0. The easiest just got easier.
Plug it in and you're good to go. Even my grandpa can do it.
AOL's got it all.
You've got mail, you've got pictures.
Check your stocks.
There's always someone to call if you need help.
Everyone I know is on AOL.
Instant messages are the coolest. 80 people on my buddy list.
We've spent over $1 billion to create the largest high-speed network to make AOL faster and easier than ever.
If I knew it was this easy, I would have started a long time ago.
America Online, so easy to use, no wonder it's #1. Call now and we'll sign you up right over the phone.
Elevator to lobby. By George.
Contacts, $320. Treadmill, $800. Wonder Bra, $26. Facelift, $3,000. Being happy with who you are, priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. Happily accepted most everywhere.
Chevy Blazer. A little security in an insecure world. Blazer. Like a rock.
Freaks and Geeks is Monday's new hit. How far will a guy go to be near the girl he loves?
The next school mascot will be Sam Ware.
Time magazine calls it one of the best shows of '99.
Your knees in my back.
An all-new Freaks and Geeks. NBC Monday at 8, 7 Central.
Welcome to Net Zero. At the hash, Net Zero, defenders of the free world. Free internet access and free email forever. www.netzero.net.
Hi, everybody. Hannah Storr back once again with Isaiah Thomas and Peter Vesey. We're going to talk with them shortly. First, let's get right to the scores and highlights on this busy evening in the NBA. Starting with the New York Knicks and the San Antonio Spurs rematch of the Finals. Finals MVP Tim Duncan came in averaging over 24 points a game. First quarter, Duncan got to work right away. The jumper over Kurt Thomas. He led all scorers with 10 points after one. In the second quarter, Knicks on the run. Marcus Camby to Chris Childs, back to Camby for the jam. And the Knicks up by one. In the third, the Spurs break it open. Duncan up strong for the dunk and the foul, part of a 15-2 Spurs run. San Antonio led by 12 at that point. Duncan finished with a game-high 33. He was 15 of 18 from the line. Afterwards, he spoke with Jim Gray.
Tim Duncan with 33 points today. Tim, how was it that you were able to totally dominate this game and take the Knicks out of anything, both offensively and defensively?
Just with patience. They gave me the ball on the block, and I knew I had a height advantage on these guys. Just took my time, took my shots when they were there. When they weren't there, I kicked it out. People hit big shots for us.
How much of this was a response to your game the other night against Portland, in which you had just 9 points?
I just wanted to play well today. I didn't feel good coming in today because of the last game. I just wanted to come out here and feel good about it and play good as a team.
Terry Porter stepped up, filling in for Jaren Jackson. Can we assume he'll stay in that spot now?
He did a great job for us. It's big having him out there. He hits big shots. He's able to run the pick and roll and really drive the ball and find people. So we'll have him there for a while.
All right, Tim, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, let's go back to New York and Hannah Storm.
Thanks, Jim. And a look at Porter's impact tonight. 36 minutes, 18 points, 11 rebounds. And Peter, they've tried so many different lineups to try to compensate for the loss of Sean Elliott. This one did the trick tonight.
Well, this is the only guy that comes close to giving them what Sean Elliott does, because he gives them creativity and activity and shooting from the outside. The perimeter is stagnant without Sean Elliott. This guy can break people down off the dribble, get things started so they just don't play catch with David Robinson or Tim Duncan.
Yeah, and also what he brings is wisdom. He brings experience from his playoff years, his championship years, and he understands how to get through a long season. I like what San Antonio is doing with Terry Porter. He extends the defense in terms of his three-point shot, opens it up for Duncan and Robinson inside.
You went up against him in '90 in the finals, and he's still playing.
I should be playing, Pete. I'm looking at him. I was giving it to him.
All right, let's move on to the Utah-Sacramento game. The Kings started the evening with a 7-game winning streak. And it was the Jazz early as Chris Webber, coming off a sore neck, missed his last game and really struggled early on. Jason Williams with the steal, the off-balance jumper, and he's fouled to tie the score at 78. They had trailed by as many as 17. Then the Jazz went on a 10-2 run. John Stockton hitting the fadeaway. Utah back up by 10. Kings down by 3, time running out. Chris Webber misses the jumper but gets it back and tries again just inside half court. Misses again. The Jazz hang on for a typically close game between these two teams. The final 104-101. Stockton had 22 points, 13 assists, and afterwards spoke with Beth Ruiak.
Thank you, Hannah. John Stockton, congratulations. 22 points, 39 minutes. Tell me about the difference that Jeff Hornacek's absence made in you looking for your shot tonight.
Oh, really? No, I try to play the same way every night and try to hit the open shot when I get it. And some nights it seems like I'm a little more aggressive than others, but I have the same idea every night.
How do you guard Jason Williams, especially when he's taking three-point shots from all over and outside?
Well, you try to stay in front of him. That's very difficult. He's a very creative, fast guy, and you try to stay in front of him and hope he misses some shots.
Thanks, Beth. Meanwhile, Detroit at Chicago earlier. Alvin Gentry and the Pistons looking to snap out of a 2-game funk, and Grant Hill trying to do it on his own. The two-handed dunk. Detroit with an early lead, but then just before halftime, Hill falls on the ground, sustained a hip contusion, and is undergoing x-rays on that injury tonight. Late in the fourth, Tony Kukoc, the dish to Elton Brand. Nice move for the score off the glass as the rookie finished with 20 points. Since Kukoc's return, the Bulls 5-4 with a 98-92 win tonight. The Mavericks at the Nets. In his final year of coaching, Don Nelson is Mavs looking for their 4th win in 5 games. Cedric Ceballos scored 21 of his 36 points in the second half. The jumper off the pass from Michael Finley. Dallas up by 1. Then, in the final moments, Stephon Marbury, the drive to the basket, puts the Nets up for good. He finished with 20 points, 8 assists, yet another close game for the Nets. They pull it out the final, 98-95. The Orlando Magic in Vancouver, down to the wire under a minute left. Sharif Abdur-Rahim pulls up and hits a short jumper, pulling the Grizzlies within 1, 81-80. Then Orlando answers, under 20 seconds left. Pat Garrity from long range. The three-pointer. The Magic up by 4, 84-80. Vancouver, one last chance, down by 3, 3 seconds left, but Abdur-Rahim blocked by Ben Wallace. End of the game. The Magic hold on for the win, 85-82, as they snap an 8-game losing streak. When we return, we'll have scores and highlights of tonight's late games. First, a message from Net Zero and a word from the NBA.
You, in my judgment, are an insidious threat to our nation and all she stands for.
The Internet was created for the people, Mr. Chairman.
I don't see that in the Constitution. Moreover, what you people are doing is flagrantly un-American. You're giving it away.
Yes, sir, we're giving it away. Free access to the Internet is a fundamental right. And if you and your committee should keep me here 1,000 years, Net Zero will still give it away. Nothing will stop us from that.
Long before he was a United States Supreme Court Justice, Thurgood Marshall stood before that same court. Arguing for the equal rights of African Americans, he began a journey that continues today. A journey to provide opportunity and education for those in need, and to pave the road for those who will follow. The NBA and its players support the Thurgood Marshall Scholarship Fund, keeping alive the dreams of young people and the legacy of a great man. For more information, log on to NBA.com.
At halftime, the Lakers lead the Trail Blazers 57-47. Steve Smith leads the Blazers with 15 points. Kobe Bryant leads all scorers with 18. Just after the half ended, Kobe spoke with Ahmad Rashad.
Kobe, 18 points, 0 rebounds, 2 assists, on fire the first half.
No, well, I'm just taking some open looks. I mean, they've been giving me some pretty good looks at the basket. I'm just shooting them and knocking them down.
In a game like this, 2 best records in the league really gets your attention, I'd imagine.
Yeah, well, it's a nice little challenge for us. We want to prove to them that they can't beat us on our home floor.
All right, good luck to you in the second half.
Thank you.
All right, let's send it back to the Showtime studio and Hannah Storm.
Thanks, Ahmad. Let's continue with the NBA scores and highlights. Indiana, which lost in Washington last night, visiting Philly tonight. Pacers struggling on the road lately. Allen Iverson and the Sixers looking for their 5th win in 6 games. Mark Jackson finding Reggie Miller, hits the jumper to put the Pacers up by 6. Second quarter, Iverson, the tip-in. Iverson. Philly within one. Iverson already in this game has 22 points. He's 9 of 16 from the field. Miller is 5 of 6, 15 points. Sixers lead it 52-50 at the half. Meanwhile, the 76ers and their coach Larry Brown were in the news this week for a reported trade with Pat Riley's Miami Heat. Now, according to the Associated Press, the trade would have sent Larry Hughes and Billy Owens to Miami in exchange for Jamal Mashburn, but the deal did not materialize. Pat Riley was incensed that it leaked to the media, very critical of the Sixers. He implied that it was the Philadelphia organization that was the source of the leak, and that did not sit well with Larry Brown. He said that Riley was irresponsible for those comments. So, where does it stand, Peter?
Well, first of all, according to my sources, not Associated Press, the two have patched up their differences. As far as the bogus report is concerned, there was conversation about exchanging those two guys. Clearly, Miami was the one holding it up. Philly would have done that deal.
All right. Any more on that?
Well, I think if that trade was to happen, then I think Miami would get the better of the trade because I think Larry Hughes is an up-and-coming star. Although Philly needs help at the small forward position with Mashburn coming over, but I think Hughes is just a budding star.
Yeah, he may be a budding star, but he's one that the Sixers don't need right now. Well, let's look up the rest of the highlights. Boston visiting Charlotte, and the Celtics' Paul Pierce had to leave this game with a hamstring injury. He did not play the second half at all. Charlotte playing tough defense. Baron Davis steals, gets it on the alley-oop to Ricky Davis for the jam, and the Hornets by 14. And then Eddie Jones, a nice drive and a layup, makes it 85-71 Charlotte. Hornets' Derek Coleman also has a double-double in this game as Charlotte looks for their fourth straight win. They lead the Celtics 105-93. Washington is at Atlanta. Second quarter, Jimmy Jackson coming away with the rebound, and the rookie Jason Terry feeding Lorenzen Wright for the jam as Atlanta led by 7 at the half. In the second half, Alan Henderson in the corner finds Jackson. Nice bounce pass to Isaiah Ryder for the layup. The Hawks took a 4-point lead, 63-59. Then they began to pull away off the outlet. It's Jackson to Ryder, this time from downtown. Hawks led at 88-74 after 3. The score right now late in the game, 107-93. And Cleveland visiting Phoenix. Kenny Hardaway activated off the injured list, did start tonight. Thus far, he's 1 for 2 from the field. The Lakers lead the Trailblazers by 10. We'll send you back to Los Angeles for the second half after these messages from your local station.
This has been Net Zero at the half. Net Zero, defenders of the free world. Free internet access and free email forever. Call 1-800-DEFENDER.
Kelly's dead, my God.
They have visions that can't be explained.
I've seen something that frightens you.
Powers that can't be controlled.
You have a gift. I don't want it.
An ability.
You're not the only one. There are others like you.
To see to the other side.
Where am I?
You're on the other side. Trust your senses to those who can help you. Just let go and fall. The Others premieres Saturday in 2 weeks on NBC.
Joe Becker, only on Northwest News Channel 8.
No one's made more truck history than Ford. And to kick off the new millennium, we're doing it again. Presenting 21st Century Celebration from your Northwest Ford store. Featuring the biggest lineup ever of all new truck and SUV models. Like the all-new 4-door Explorer Sport Track and the F-150 Super Crew. Start the 21st Century in a 2000 Explorer with $1,000 cash back. Or get special 3.9 financing and save over $2,900 in interest. When it comes to new vehicles for a new century, no one can beat your Northwest Ford store.
People on the job every day, 36,000 new lines every month, 100 billion calls and internet connections every year. And we've just invested $1 billion all to make service even better.
I've been everywhere.
US West, doing more every day to make life better here.
Millennium dawns, the best in sports is coming your way on NBC, America's Olympic network. Monday, the game is on. Catch a special Monday episode of 21. The biggest winners on television. A special Monday 21, 9, 8 Central on NBC.
The Lakers shot 60% from the floor in the first half. The game was tied after 1, but it's L.A. by 10 as we head for the third quarter. Shaquille O'Neal with 14 rebounds has only one less by himself than the entire Blazer team. Third quarter coming up.
It's tough to put your finger on it. That's something that powers some to get anything done. But when somebody's got this kind of drive, you'll know. Just look at their truck. Welcome to Ford Country, land of the Indestructibles and home of the F-Series. When you're built Ford tough, you're out to take on anything. Just bring it on.
Tired of really boring acceptance speeches at award shows? And you got to check out the Golden Globes.
I'll enjoy it so much, right down to the chewy chocolate center.
Yeah, this is the place where your favorite stars of film and television let it all hang out.
I was in the bathroom, Mom.
Hello.
There's a lot of cleavage in this room.
Be there for the 57th Annual Golden Globes this Sunday on NBC.
With Doug Collins, Bob Costas back at the Staples Center. A quick look at some additional halftime statistics.
Well, you can see Steve Smith had an excellent first half with 15, but Kobe Bryant and Shaq, 32 points, dominated the game. Portland has got to get something going inside. First possession to Rasheed Wallace at the basket.
But off the miss, it's A.C. Green. Playing tonight in his 1,069th consecutive game. He's long since passed the league record. A.C. Green with the rebound. And a foul on Steve Smith. The Lakers lead by 10. That's the game's biggest advantage. Around the perimeter to Rice, and Smith again is whistled for a foul as we go to Ahmad Rashad.
All right, thanks, Bob. I was talking to some of the Portland Trailblazers. They said Mike Dunleavy told them that they were giving up too much penetration, too many second shots, and what they want to do is push the ball and start running. Bill Jackson told his team that they were not playing the pick and roll well, but what they were doing well was making Portland keep shooting jump shots. They want to keep them doing that, Bob.
Here's Harper out top. Thank you, Ahmad. Glenn Rice with the jumper. Won't go. Wallace has board position. Smith against Rice. Pippen returns it to him. And Steve Smith is short with the jumper.
About one thing is Portland's missing now, but they're not getting any second shots. They only had 2 offensive rebounds in that entire first half.
Pippen on the run. Stoudamire racing ahead. Well, the Trailblazers are not a particularly good rebounding team.
And it's interesting because when you think of the Portland Trailblazers over the last 4 or 5 years, you think a dominant rebounding team. They're not rebounding as well this year. Now, they're shooting better, so maybe not as many rebounds, but they have got to get to the boards. That's one of their strengths.
Kobe Bryant's jumper isn't there. And it bounces into Stoudamire's hands. Sabonis left alone. Accepts the invitation. Blazers back to within 6. Lakers haven't scored in the first 2 minutes plus of the second half. O'Neal can't change that. Smith, who's missed his last 5 field goal attempts after a hot start. O'Neal blocked it. Blazers wanted a goaltend, but the officials say it's clean. O'Neal looked like he walked. He gets away with it, but misses the shot.
Very lethargic the Lakers are coming out to start this third quarter. The Blazers have to take advantage of this. They get another score down to a 4-point game. Steve Smith.
The basket counts, and he'll come to the line to try to complete a 3-point play. To back up your point, Doug, after shooting 60% in the first half, Phil Jackson's team has missed its first 5 shots in the second half.
Well, you know, as a team and as a coach, you have to say, look, we're not going to continue to shoot 60%. So our defense has got to continue to be good. We've got to rebound the basketball, and we can't compromise our defense inside. Already you've seen Steve Smith get to the basket, get fouled, and get a 3-point play. We saw little of that in the entire first half.
The foul was on Glenn Rice, his second. 7 unanswered points at the outset of the third quarter for the Trailblazers. Rice. And the Lakers are on the board in the third.
If there was a jump shooter's picture that you'd want to take to send out about what a pretty jump shot looks like, it'd have to be Glenn Rice's. Bob, we had a great angle there, the elbow in, the great rotation, the great lift and arch on the ball. That's just a beautiful shot.
Smith knocked away. Portland keeps it. So picture perfect. We'll look at it again.
Well, this is the angle that we have. Now watch. He's going to get squared up. Look at his left hand off the ball. Square up. Look at the rotation. Follow through. That's just a pretty shot.
5 seconds to shoot. Stoudamire. Got it.
Well, he's hit some tough shots against that shot clock today, working on that high screen roll. And we know that one of the things that teams like to do is get Shaq involved in that screen roll. They don't think he likes to come out and cover.
Stoudamire has scored 16. He averages a shade under 13. Rice, surrounded by defenders, loses it. Stoudamire races to the other end, loses Bryant, switches to the right hand. That was gorgeous.
How about that move? Full speed. Kobe Bryant cuts in front of him. He sort of picks his dribble up, sidesteps him, goes to the other side of the basket and finish, and he's energized his team here. The smallest guy on the floor, bringing energy, toughness. Portland has needed this in the third period. The little step-back jump shot, and then Bob, once again, getting out on the break. This is 2 layups he's got in this period. Watch Kobe Bryant. He's going to try to cut him off. He pulls it up, used his right hand off the glass. Great play by Damon Stoudamire.
The third quarter score is Portland 11, Lakers 2. And suddenly it's a 1-point game. You're watching the NBA on NBC.
Go to the net, NBA.com.
Don't you worry, little guys. I'll find you a happy home. Hey, Bearman, before you take this frost brewed Coors Light, one of my little babies, I'll have to ask you a few questions. Huh? How often do you clean your home? 100 a beer. Of course you do. Do you have a good job? I'm a surgeon, brain surgeon. I won't be happy till all these beers have a good home. Bearman, there's a roof over your head.
Oh, skylight.
What if your car knew you, anticipated your needs, and then reacted to meet them? What if it could adjust to how long your legs are? What if it could help protect you in an accident, with sensors that know where your seat's positioned and the severity of the crash, so the front airbags can react to you? It's time to stop wondering what if. Introducing the new 2000 Ford Taurus with the advanced personal safety system.
Iceberg! Get the headlight!
Get a grip, man. You're a thumb.
You're right. I am a thumb.
At Earthlink, we've created a way to access every last corner of the internet.
Oh, man. What have we done?
This isn't that bad.
It's your internet. We just connected to it. Earthlink and Sprint are internet partners.
I need my light.
What light?
The light I ordered on your website.
This isn't the website. This is the store site.
You mean I can't get my light?
Not at this site.
Same store, same lights.
Different system, different sites.
I came in here because I thought I might...
Find the same things that were on the website.
Doesn't that seem right?
Now, in hindsight, if the site was tied to the website, then it would be easy for us to give you the light. Excellent insight, Dwight.
Forget it.
One company, one place for information. Now there's an idea.
Good night.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, who reminds you that three most important words are, hey, beer man. By the new 2000 Ford Taurus with the advanced personal safety system. And by Adidas. Long live sport.
Well, after trailing by 10 at half, Portland has gotten themselves right back in the game, and how've they done it? By listening to their coach. They've gotten out and run on the break. They've stopped the Lakers defensively. Stoudamire with a layup. Steve Smith, a crossover dribble, takes it to the basket, three-point play. Shaq helps out. Sabonis squares it up, and he hits the outside jump shot. 11-2 run, getting out, running in the open court, and already, look, shots in the lane, something we did not see. 5 makes, 2 on the outside, 3 on the inside, and look at the second quarter when everything was on the outside. When you win, you have balance, and that's what Portland is having right now, and they're right back in this ball game.
Laker lead, trimmed to 1. Bryant explodes to the basket and makes it a three-point game. He has 20.
You know, great players make the game look so easy. Quick burst, gets their floats, you're going to the basket, and you float it over a 7-footer. That's a tough shot that he makes look very easy.
Sabonis slings it back outside to Smith. 5 on the shot clock. Poked away from behind by Harper. And out of the pack comes Kobe. Pull-up jumper. You can't coach talent.
What you try to do is just make the game easier for them, and that's what Phil is trying to do with Kobe, and sometimes he has to pull him back, but Kobe playing great basketball today.
Well, let me clarify. I mean, you can coach it, you can direct
That's right,
it, but
excellent.
you can't produce it. Either you have it or you don't.
That's correct.
5 on the shot clock. Wallace, tough shot, and his fadeaway won't go. Lakers looking for breathing room, leading by 5. Glenn Rice makes it 7.
It's a good timeout by Mike Dunleavy. Phil Jackson takes a timeout after an 11-2 run. They cut it to a 1-point game. Lakers regroup, get their defense going, 6-0 run to push it back to 7. So it's a good timeout for Mike Dunleavy. Does not want all this good work to go away here in this third period. But watch this little floating shot here. On the run, over Pippen, going behind the backboard, and he finishes it. And then this time he comes down, looks around the floor, says, if you're going to back off of me, I'm going to pull up and shoot it. I'm hot today. And he knocks it down. And then after the timeout, Glenn Rice follows it up once again. Little power dribble, that beautiful jump shot's a great release. And once again, the Lakers are in command here, leading by 7.
Excuse me, where's plywood? Aisle 20.
Everyone has a potential. Have you realized yours? Are you a prodigy? Prodigy Internet. Call 1-800-PRODIGY.
If you can't stop here, stop here for genuine Midas brakes. Now just $69.95 after rebate. Guaranteed nationwide for as long as you own your car. Next stop, go Midas.
What if your car knew you? Would it make you feel more at home? Could it put you in a more comfortable driving position? What if it could make more room for your life? Prevent problems before they happen? or light the road better at night. It's time to stop wondering what if. Introducing the new 2000 Ford Taurus. More comfort, more convenience.
Big news! My honey barbecue wings are back. Got a new sandwich, too.
Now get your KFC Honey Barbecue 2 ways. Wings or in the new Honey Barbecue Sandwich. Each just $1.99.
It's a great name. It's beansnow.com.
You type in beansnow.com. We're different from other bean sites. It's a website, computers, you click, and the next day beans appear. And we're looking for some venture cap, some seed money. We're just trying to get some cash.
It's not one of those dirty websites, is it?
Oh, no.
The cold filtered cool of Miller Genuine Draft.
I'm starting an internet website, and I'm calling it CaptainBarkey.com.
That's my doggish name.
Huh. Never miss a genuine opportunity.
Next Sunday at noon Eastern, an NBA on NBC doubleheader. The Kings, the Knicks. Young, exciting Sacramento takes on Eastern Conference champion New York. Then the Lakers, the Rockets. Shaq and Kobe lead the league's top team versus Houston and exciting rookie Steve Francis. The NBA on NBC next Sunday at noon Eastern.
Cal Ripken, take note. The Lakers have a pair of Iron Men. A.C. Green working on the longest streak in league history at age 36. And up in the broadcast booth, the great Chick Hearn. We say this affectionately. Nobody knows exactly how old Chick is. He's in his 80s. This is his 3,155th consecutive Laker broadcast. I'm not sure where it began, but I understand that his first halftime guest was James Naismith. Stoudamire to Sabonis. He comes up short. They save it, though, and start it over. Sweeping hook. Sabonis thought he was fouled, pleads his case, but it's Laker ball. Chick Hearn actually had a terrible case of the flu last week, and in his 80s, certainly no one would have begrudged him if he stayed home on a 3-game Laker trip, but he got on that plane anyway and kept the streak intact. Sabonis looked like he hooked O'Neal, and the foul is on Arvidas.
See, Mike Dunleavy, I was reading his lips. He's saying, you know, it's the same call. Shaquille just did the same thing to me at the other end. Why isn't it a foul there? Now, you watch, as he comes across the lane, it's like he hits him on the arm there, no call. And then on the flash cut on the other end, as he comes across the lane, Shaq, they call a foul there. That is the thing that frustrates people who play against Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaq, air ball. Who touched it last? Portland did. Mentioned earlier that despite all the MVP talk, Shaq says his second year with Orlando, when he averaged 29 points and 13 rebounds for the Magic, he still considers that his best season. The Lakers threw it away.
Okay.
Phil Jackson, once again working for two guys named Jerry, Buss and West, after trading in Reinsdorf and Krause.
And he had an MVP in Michael Jordan, and now that he's gone, he's got one in Shaquille O'Neal. So the one thing about Phil, you can say he's been blessed with some great players. He's a terrific coach, but he's also had some great players to coach.
Hooked it away from Wallace, and hold on, says Danny Crawford.
See what A.C. Green did there at the end of the play? That's what Rasheed Wallace has to just walk away from. And it's a smart play, just sort of taps him. Those are the things sometimes that frustrate him. After the play, A.C. gave him a little extra shot there, and sometimes that's what frustrates him. But he's done a good job today controlling his emotions, but he's 3 for 10 from the floor. They got to start getting him involved in the offense.
Around Green to score. A.C. Green's career technical total is about a week's worth for Rasheed Wallace. I mean, you're talking about one of the great gentlemen in the league and a very volatile youngster going head-to-head. Kobe Bryant is short with it. And Sabonis takes it with board position on Shaq.
Got to go right back into Rasheed Wallace. He scored. He's got Kobe Bryant on him. Recognize the mismatch and take him the ball and let him score.
Nice pass inside to Steve Smith.
See, they had to double team him. He recognized it, and they got a layup. That's good advantage there. You take advantage of it. Scottie Pippen saw it, and he made Stoudamire take the ball to the other side of the floor. especially in the NBA, is a game of matchups. You have a matchup. You see here, Kobe's trying to get in front of Rasheed Wallace on the pass. Here comes Rice. No weak side rotation. The over-the-shoulder pass and the nice finish by Steve Smith. It's good basketball.
Big game for Harper. The average is just over 7. He's now scored 13. From Ronnie Nunn. The first half was played with very few whistles. It's a little more physical here in the third quarter.
Well, you know, as the game goes on and you start getting in a game like this, the emotions get a little bit on edge. You get bumped a couple times. And Rasheed Wallace, the thing I like about what Portland is doing here, they're taking their time. They're having more patience on offense, looking to get that ball inside rather than to shoot that quick jump shot.
Stoudamire gives it up to Pippen. Smith's jumper isn't there. Sabonis on the offensive glass. Look to Wallace for the jam.
How about that pass by Sabonis? Is there a better passing big man in the game today? That was a no-look pass in traffic, and then the catch by Wallace and the finish.
Seems almost crazy to describe a guy who's 7'3" as a finesse player, but that's what he's been his whole career since coming out of Lithuania.
Absolutely. He was the guy who used to run the floor and play out on the break. A lot of them compared to Larry Bird when he played over in Europe, but his legs, his Achilles, his knees are gone now, and he just can't move like he once did.
O'Neal misses the jump hook. Harper cuts in front to take it back. Return pass from Bryant, but he can't hit the reverse. Pippen for 3. And he cuts the Laker lead to 1.
I would like to see Scottie Pippen be more aggressive offensively for this team. I know that he likes to be facilitating that basketball or whatever, but I think he needs to look to put the pressure more on the defense with his shooting sometimes.
Scottie has 9. Stoudamire fouls Harper as he receives the pass.
Portland wanted more early offense. There's Scottie Pippen. You're going to see the great little bowling pass out to Stoudamire, and Scottie runs. They've got numbers. Kobe's trying to stop the ball. Nobody gets to Scottie, and he steps into it right in rhythm and knocks the 3 down.
Harper hits the first. Next Saturday, a doubleheader. You'll see either the Jazz and the Timberwolves or the Sixers and the Pistons in the first half, and then in part 2, Miami, Indiana, or San Antonio against Portland.
Let's hope that Grant Hill is not too seriously injured. Bobby took a really nasty fall today in Chicago, did not play in the second half, and there's a guy who has been a legitimate MVP candidate, having his best year by far ever as a pro.
Second in the league in scoring behind Allen Iverson. Shaquille O'Neal is 3rd. Rasheed Wallace doesn't get the roll. Pippen gets the rebound. Scottie rejected by Shaq and saved by Bryant. Wow. Sabonis went for the steal, leaving Shaq a free lane for the slam.
Smart play, though, by Los Angeles. Your big man blocks the shot. He takes away a layup from Scottie Pippen. Go down and reward him on the other end. The Lakers did it, and Shaquille finished it off. But great plays on both ends. Here comes Scottie. There's Shaquille O'Neal once again with a block shot. You go down to the other end, you say, let's get the ball inside to our big guy. Sabonis, Bob, as you said, makes a mistake, goes for the steal. Who's going to get in front of that and try to stop that?
And before the crowd can get further juiced, Mike Dunleavy asks for time.
This is the workshop of radicals. A one-car garage where 2 young men with $500 in venture capital invented an industry. Their idea was simple. Invent something useful and significant, or it doesn't leave the garage. The idea was so simple, it was radical. Today, the company of Bill Hewlett and Dave Packard is being reinvented. The original startup will act like one again. Watch.
A bear fell down the hill. What will I I do. Mom, what's this word?
Sound it out.
Mountain.
That's right.
At last, the bear made it to the top.
You just read that whole book. Let's celebrate.
Okay.
Here you are.
Thank you.
Happy meal. Happy meal, please.
We started out a pretty small business, but it sure wasn't small to us. We needed help, financial help. That's just what we got from the people at American Express Small Business Services. We got equipment financing for bigger stoves and faster computers, a line of credit to keep our cash flow flowing, plus the buying power to help our business grow. 1-800-SUCCESS was the best call we ever made. Like my father says, you can do anything you set your mind to, but you can't do it alone. He's right.
Tara Lipinski. She captured our hearts and the gold in Nagano. Now she's looking to make history again. In her path, 94 Olympic gold medalist Oksana Bayul and 3-time world silver medalist Surya Bonale. The Metabolite World Professional Figure Skating Championships, starting Friday night at 9 Eastern and Pacific on NBC.
And a storm in New York with this update as the Pacers are visiting the 76ers. The NBA's leading scorer, Allen Iverson, for 3. 10 for 21 from the field thus far. He already has 25 points with 5 minutes left in the third. It's the Pacers leading the Sixers 64-61. Back to Bob and Doug in L.A.
Hannah, thanks. What's your take on the 76ers at this point of the season?
Well, I think they had a lot of injuries early. Theo Ratliff missed a whole lot of time, and it really hurt them defensively. Now that they've got their team back, Geiger was hurt early. They've got their team back. They've got it healthy. They're playing much better basketball. Question is, Larry Hughes, a lot of talk. Are they going to trade him? So there's a lot up in the air right now. They're going to make a deal. They're playing much better basketball because they're now healthy.
Stoudamire logging heavy minutes in this game. We've seen very little of Greg Anthony. Brings it across. Rasheed Wallace working on AC Green and taking him to the glass.
Such a different Portland team than we saw in the first half. Sometimes you fall in love with that early jump shot and it will take you to defeat. They have gathered themselves, got it inside. Rasheed Wallace now a factor for them.
Inside 2 minutes to play in the third. Lakers by 3. AC Green beats the shot clock and misses. Stoudamire finds Wallace, but it's short. Loose ball foul on the Trailblazers. It's the first on Rasheed Wallace.
When Rasheed Wallace gets the ball down here, he's quicker, he's bigger than AC Green, takes his time, rolls off, used the glass. Then the next possession, he misses that little jumper. Bob, I think he got excited. He could have taken a dribble and dunked it, but look what's happened now. Rasheed Wallace got off to a slow start, a little bit of a nagging injury to start the season. Look what he's done in his last 17 games. That's the guy they need, minus those technicals, come playoff time. Bob, I said if they want to win a championship, I think he is the key guy. He is the guy that they can go to late in games because he's a nightmare matchup. Too quick for bigger guys and too big for smaller guys.
AC Green out. To a round of applause, Robert Horry back in. Rice looking for his 12th point, despite the fact that the Lakers are 33-7, and a lot of people say, why would you change a winning hand? Trade talks surrounding Glenn Rice continues.
Well, I think when it's all said and done, I think Glenn Rice is going to be here the rest of the year, and then at the end of the season, they'll figure it out whether they want to sign and trade him or he's going to go somewhere else or stay, but I don't think you'll see a trade with Glenn Rice.
Sabonis' hook is no good. Bryant is there for the rebound. O'Neal to Horry, who was fouled. Reminder, folks, the next Laker game is Monday night at the Delta Center against the Jazz, and you can watch it on TBS, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, Lakers, Utah.
How about quietly the Utah Jazz playing great basketball? Once again, Karl Malone playing like an MVP, Stockton playing very, very good, starting to get great play from Brian Russell. Quietly just sort of creeping along. Great win today at Sacramento, and that will be a tough game for the Lakers to go in there and play at Utah.
Here's something for Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant, the superstars of this team, to think about. Robert Horry at the line has 2 championship rings, 1 with the Rockets. A.C. Green has 2 with Laker teams of earlier vintage. Ron Harper has 3 with the Bulls, and Phil Jackson has 7. 1 with the Knicks as a player and 6 as the Bulls coach. So they're surrounded by championship experience. Stoudamire's pull-up is there.
That was so good, it was ridiculous, Bob. I mean, he went right, brought it back, went left, started to look like he was going to go to the basket, stopped on a dime, pulled it back, and shot it. That move was so good, and Kobe just got left standing flat-footed.
20 points for the 1996 NBA Rookie of the Year. That was when Stoudamire was with the Raptors. Nice pass from Shaq to Kobe.
See, Kobe's way too big for him. Damon just can't handle him down there. Kobe comes off the weak side, flashes in, and a great pass. All in one motion, he kisses it off the glass.
Here's Pippen drilling it.
Bob, you know, it's interesting. In a game like today, you say, well, where's all this depth? Where's all this versatility of the Blazers? They're playing their starters more minutes. That's what will happen come playoff time. You'll use that depth a lot during the regular season, but you get in a game like this, a playoff game, you play your starters many more minutes.
Kobe with 4 seconds, loses it. Steve Smith's got to hurry, and Bryant may have fouled him in the backcourt. That's 4 on Kobe.
Rasheed Wallace a little gimpy here at half court, limping. I don't know if he twisted an ankle or banged a knee. I think he's going to be okay. Probably one of those things where you just get the stinging sensation. Maybe you can just play it off.
Quickly into Stoudamire, beats the buzzer with the double pump and misses. A quiet third quarter for Shaquille O'Neal. He had 14 rebounds in the first half, none in the third quarter, and just 1 for 5 from the field. His only field goal was an uncontested dunk. Last 12 minutes of regulation coming up. It's LA by 5, and you're watching the NBA on NBC.
What if your car knew you, anticipated your needs, and then reacted to meet them? What if it could adjust to how long your legs are? What if it could help protect you in an accident, with sensors that know where your seat's positioned and the severity of the crash, so the front airbags can react to you? It's time to stop wondering what if. Introducing the new 2000 Ford Taurus with the advanced personal safety system.
I've always believed that there's strength in numbers. That's what teamwork's all about. Like here in downtown Oakland, Antoine Jameson and kids from the neighborhood came together to make a difference.
Thank you.
Now, these guys may not have created a masterpiece.
You gotta stay within the lines.
I am.
But when people come together, the result can be beautiful. Team up to improve your community.
Nature's Fury, Avalanche Season, NBC Nightly News, Monday.
Colin Cowherd, only on Northwest News Channel 8.
This is our art. We sculpt in metal, paint in G-forces. You won't find our work in museums, for we are artists of the streets. Our art places form in harmony with function, moves body and soul. Cars are our passion. Engineering is our art. Acura.
Row harder, swabbies. Siberia's still half an ocean away.
At the base, your drummer will never get there.
Oh, we'll sink.
Oh, can't you row without me drumming?
You'd be keeping the beat if you drank a Red Bull.
Red Bull?
Yeah, the energy drink. It revitalizes body and mind. You're all pumped up.
Shows me brain. Forget Siberia. Let's do Bermuda.
What a genius.
Or even better, let's do Hawaii. It's poured for everybody.
Red Bull gives you wind. I need some suntan lotion.
This copyrighted telecast of the National Basketball Association is intended solely for the entertainment of our audience. And any retransmission, reproduction, rebroadcast, or other dissemination or use of this telecast, or of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited.
Hi, everybody. Hannah Storm back in New York with this update on the condition of the Pistons. Grant Hill is having a terrific season, but took a nasty spill in Chicago this afternoon. X-rays were negative. The diagnosis is a severe tailbone bruise, and the Pistons team doctor Ben Palucci tells us he does expect Hill to miss about a week of action. That's 3 to 4 games, and not good news for a Pistons team that's lost 3 in a row. And let's go back to Bob and Doug in Los Angeles.
Hannah, thanks. Doug?
Well, I think as we go into this fourth quarter, one of the things to think about, Portland is not in foul trouble. It's a close basketball game. Will we see Shaquille O'Neal shoot a lot of free throws? Will we see the hack-a-shack in this period, especially with no foul trouble on the big people and a close basketball game? We'll have to keep our eye on that right now, Bob.
O'Neal has shot only 4 free throws so far in this game. This is Bonzi Wells guarding Ron Harper. Derek Fisher, 8 on the shot clock as they swing it around the perimeter. Rick Fox, 4 seconds to shoot, gets it back to Ori. It's rejected. Fox puts it in.
Boy, that's a big basket there. Rick Fox with a nice putback. Shot clock was winding down. It did not hit the rim because of the block on the dunk attempt. Good awareness that time by Rick Fox.
Fourth quarter starts with Kobe a spectator. Here's Bonzi Wells. Height advantage on Fisher. Sabonis for 3. Smith chases it down. Sabonis couldn't hold it. Back come the Lakers, up 7. Harper thought about it. Pippen got up on him. Now he'll shoot it. Wallace has the rebound. Wells out top to Smith. His 3 is short. Wells trying to follow on a loose ball foul on Bonzi Wells.
The respect that Phil Jackson has for Bonzi Wells, he talked to us about it yesterday. He was worried about him in the post. He's double teaming him, and Phil does not like to double team. So you've seen he does not want to let this young guy get started. You see what he did against the Lakers, 12 points, how well he played in 26 minutes. It sort of feels like they're their wild card, does not want to let him get involved.
Shaq had a little trouble finding the handle, then he doesn't get the roll on the shot. But the Trailblazers touched it last.
Little miscommunication that time. Steve Smith and Rasheed Wallace both hustling for the basketball, and they both knocked it out of bounds. So Lakers get a big break here with a new shot clock.
Shaq got it. That little hop, and then the lift-off for the jumper.
That's a rhythm that prepares him to shoot that shot.
17 points for O'Neal. Scotty got through. And he has 13. Robert Ory's jumper is short. Bonzi Wells takes the rebound. Harper knocked it away into the hands of Fox.
Okay, Harper's made some big plays today, Bobby. He had a big 3 when they're on a run. He had a 3-point play when they cut it to 3. They're a big steal as they're trying to cut it to 5. Some little things that championship players make.
Ori back out to Fisher, who overshot the 3. Shaq in for the rebound. And it will go to Portland. .8:53 to play in the fourth. Los Angeles by 7.
Doubleheaders next Saturday and Sunday. The NBA on NBC.
Ooh, look, Howie, your favorite. Miss, how can this cost more than $1? It's a piece of rope.
You can't get anything for $1 these days.
I get a 20-minute call for only 99 cents.
Have you been standing near the catnip?
Oh, he's talking about 10-10-220. It's only 99 cents for all calls up to 20 minutes and just 7 cents a minute after that.
All day, every day.
That's cheap.
Oh, yeah. And the best part is no monthly fees. No monthly fees.
Good. Those can be very irritating.
Dial 10-10-220.
After weeks of searching through remote territories, my efforts were rewarded. I noticed something moving in the brush, traveling nimbly across the rugged terrain. A group of nomadic males, strong, powerful, magnificent. They truly are impressive beasts.
Miss Blaine, on 30 October, you were observed handing out these suspicious-looking little discs.
Those discs you refer to bestow freedom on all who possess them.
What you call freedom, I call license. A license to go willy-nilly all over the internet without paying a cent.
Well, shouldn't that be a right? Shouldn't the internet be free? To us, our children, and to all people? Net Zero believes it should.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by Sprite. Image is nothing. Thirst is everything. Obey your thirst. Sprite. By Honda, makers of the spirited and versatile CR-V. And by 1-800-COLLECT, the easy way to save.
Shaquille O'Neal has played heavy minutes, Doug. He may play all 48 minutes of this game. Now, it's one thing for Wilt Chamberlain, who once counting overtime games, averaged more than 48 minutes a game for a season. And that black stripe on the left shoulder of the Laker uniforms is in honor of Wilt Chamberlain, who passed away in October. It's one thing for Wilt to do it. Modern players, even guys like Shaq, aren't used to it.
Well, Shaq had 14 rebounds in the first half. He has none in the second half. And as this game winds down, when fatigue could be a factor, will Phil try to find a chance maybe to rest him for a minute, give him a little blow stick and finish the game? But he's banking right now that he can play all 48. Played 47 minutes against this team the last time they played.
Steve Smith drew a whistle, and he'll come to the free throw line. The backup center for the Lakers, as of now, is John Sally, who did the nearly impossible. It's one thing to sit out a year, go to Europe, the CBA. He went to NBC, and yet still recovered his career and came back to put on a uniform. But Sally doesn't get that many minutes at age 35. Foul on Harper was his second. And Smith makes it a 6-point game. Next Friday, the Metabolife World Professional Figure Skating Championships on NBC, featuring Tara Lipinski. 9 Eastern Time, Friday. Smith makes them both. Rasheed Wallace out, Detlef Schrempf in. Seven on the shot clock. Up top to Fox. Head fake. 2 seconds to shoot. Brian Shaw will, and he misses it badly. Pippen. Up and over the glass, Laker ball.
I think Phil has to really watch this lineup he's got in right now. He's got a tired Shaq out there with Brian Shaw, Ron Harper, Ori, and Rick Fox. Who's going to score for this team? So if I'm Portland, I really load up on Shaq right now and say, look, I'm going to make one of these other guys make a shot to try to beat us.
Greg Anthony in, Pippen out, Sabonis, Schrempf, Steve Smith, Bonzi Wells, and Greg Anthony right now for Mike Dunleavy. Shaquille O'Neal blind pass to Harper. They swing it around the perimeter for Fox. Schrempf comes out with it, and Ronnie Nunn stops play.
How long will Phil allow Kobe and Glenn Rice to sit on that bench right now? It's a 5-point game. He probably feels very good that right now he feels like they're still in control. Maybe at the 7-minute mark, 6-minute mark, but he's going to have to get those guys back in the game because this Laker team that's out there right now is going to have a tough time scoring.
They've sat out the whole fourth quarter to this point. The foul on Harper was his third. Working on Shaw. Rebounding foul on Portland. Looks like Sabonis. And it's his fourth. Mike Dunleavy exhorting his Trailblazers from the sideline. Last year's NBA Coach of the Year. Once the coach of the Lakers. He succeeded Pat Riley here and took the 91 Lakers to the finals against Phil Jackson's Bulls. Chicago won their first title in that series in 5 games against Dunleavy's Lakers. Sabonis immediately picks up another one, and that's his fifth.
They're going to have to come in now with Bryant Grant, who's got quickness, but he's very undersized. And if you looked in that first half, Bryant Grant played 9 minutes, was 0 for 3 from the floor, had only 1 offensive rebound, no defensive rebounds, with a couple fouls. So they're going to have to give Bryant Grant some help. Shaq will overpower him down there.
Sabonis has played 31 minutes, and at this stage of his career, that's a lot. Shaq, the running hook that doesn't drop. Schrempf back for Portland. Off Wells' hands, scooped up by Brian Shaw. He'll go all the way. And miss it. Rebounding foul on the Lakers. It's Robert Ory's first.
When we first came on the air, I said, you know, expect a low-scoring game. The 2 best defensive teams, 2 championship-caliber teams. It was 30-30 at the end of the first quarter. Bob, since then, 82-77. The defense is locked in. They've got a rhythm of this game, and now it's become a defensive contest. Who's going to be able to manufacture some points?
Lakers have come up cold, missing their last 7. Portland really hasn't taken advantage of this opportunity to get back in the game. Smith had it knocked away. Greg Anthony for 3. Way off. O'Neal with his first rebound of the second half. Rick Fox is open.
When you talk of the Lakers scoring, now the Big Three has led them in scoring, one of them every game this year. Last year in 49 of 50, the only guy to lead them in scoring last year other than the Big Three was Rick Fox, 1 time.
Grant had it knocked away by Fisher. Again. Wells on the glass.
Well, they got to get a shot at it. They've had 2 quick turnovers without getting a shot at all. They're allowing the Lakers to buy time for Kobe and Glenn Rice, letting them rest.
And a Laker foul. That's number 1 on Rick Fox. Kobe Bryant yet to make his appearance in the 4th.
Passenger enormously powerful Odyssey from Honda. It's one big happy minivan.
Faster, more reliable, higher quality, more profitable. Nortel Networks is building the new high-performance internet, and it can be whatever you want it to be. So tell us, what do you want the internet to be?
Come together right now over me.
Why does Ford Windstar offer you the versatility of dual remote sliding doors, the confidence of a reverse sensing system and all-speed traction control? And why is Windstar the only minivan on the planet to earn a quadruple 5-star safety rating? We have kids, too. Get $1,500 cash back or $1,000 cash back plus 3.9 financing on the only minivan to earn a quadruple 5-star safety rating at your Northwest Ford stores.
From a backyard hoop to the pet food gym, that's where 2 balls started for Zach and Tim. They pick their spots and make their shots in just 60 seconds. They can get red hot, get red hot. Their teamwork won from city to city. Passing and shooting had them get pretty. Zach and Tim might have started small, but to prove that anyone can win it all. NBA 2-ball, NBA 2-ball, take the shot.
Next Saturday, an NBA on NBC doubleheader. First, the mighty Jazz and Karl Malone meet the T-Wolves and Kevin Garnett in a matchup of division rivals. Then it's a rematch of last year's Western Conference Finals, where the Spurs face the Blazers. NBA Showtime 3:30 Eastern, Game 4 Eastern. The NBA on NBC next Saturday.
The Lakers' big three on offense, 24 for Shaq, 17 for Shaq, 24 for Kobe. Glenn Rice has 12. That's 63% of their offense. Normally they get 68%. You want shooting? Glenn Rice will give you great shooting. You want power? Shaquille O'Neal will give you power. You want slashing and cutting and going to the basket? Kobe Bryant will give you that. And that's what these guys have done all season long. That's why they have the best record. They now lead by 7. Which team is going to be able to find the defense here to be able to win this basketball game here at the end? All the starters now back. Glenn Rice back in the ball game, along with Kobe Bryant. Robert Horry on the front line. Derek Fisher at the guard position.
Trailblazers will keep it, knocked out by the Lakers. Shaquille O'Neal, after a huge first half, has just 1 rebound in the second half, and he shot 2 for 8.
Portland had a chance to cut into that, and they did. And they had those turnovers, missed shots, and
got to shoot quickly. 2 seconds. Pippen swatted away by O'Neal. 24-second violation.
Just the awareness of Shaq defensively this year, Bob, is so different. You know, he didn't come over and block shots like that last season. He's aggressive. He realizes the clock is winding down, that Scotty has to take a quick shot, and he comes over and rejects it.
O'Neal's 5th block of the game. Kobe doubles, trying to get rid of it, and he's stripped. Pippen to Anthony. Fisher a diving attempt at the steal. Pippen thinking about a 3. Kobe's up on him. Wallace in the lane. Horry appeared to get a little piece of it, but it still dropped.
But if you watch that play develop, Scottie Pippen saw the mismatch once again, and he said, swung the ball to Anthony, said, get it to Wallace inside. That's the experience that he brings.
Rice over Schrempf. Portland could cut it to 3 or to 2 with a 3-pointer. Greg Anthony.
See, now, Mike Dunleavy's got Stoudamire waiting at the bench to come in. Anthony at the 3. He's a better defender. Well, I guess it was a 2. It's what was on the line. Like Mike Dunleavy's going to bring Stoudamire back in the game and take Anthony out. Played very few minutes today.
Stoudamire's had a big game. 20 points, 6 assists. Pippen on Bryant. Got a piece of it. Into the hands of Anthony. Anthony again. Not this time. And Bryant has the rebound. Now that was an open shot. And it is the latter stages of a close game. But can even a veteran like Anthony see his replacement at the scorer's table and think I better hoist one?
Oh, absolutely. Now, it was an open shot, but I think they should have tried to dump that ball back inside to Rasheed Wallace.
Fisher, the head fake and the pop. Loose ball chased to the side by Pippen. Nice save.
See, I get a good possession here. I say, look, take your time and throw the ball into Rasheed Wallace. If they double team, kick the ball out, and he'll create an open shot. Brian Grant, you get on the offensive board.
Pippen slithering through, finding Wallace, who was fouled by O'Neal. And that's number 1 on Shaq.
I think you got a very tired Shaquille O'Neal right now. He's huffing and puffing out there. 3 minutes and 11 seconds to go. Phil has rolled the dice here that he's going to be able to play this entire game. You make both of these free throws, it's a 1-point game now against Shaq. 1 rebound in the entire second half, and he's 2 out of his last 8 shooting.
And he's played every tick of the clock in this game. Crucial miss for Wallace. I'll give you a name. Ike Austin, who has lost his starting job in Washington to Jahidi White. Michael Jordan comes in there with the Wizards. There's John Sally, nominally the backup, but he hasn't played at all. The Wizards are looking to create some cap room. Ike Austin might fit here. He can play some power forward, and he could back up Shaq and lessen his minutes in the pivot.
Well, the question would be, what would the Lakers have to give up? Would the Wizards want something, and would they do it to make cap space, or do it because they're trying to get somebody from the Lakers? That would be the big concern.
I think they might do it just to create the cap room. It's a 2-point game. Inside 3 minutes. Rice. Hold on, says Danny Crawford. The foul is on Schrempf, his first, and that is one tired big man. 2:54 left. He's going to play every bit of it.
I don't know. I've never really felt too much competition with him. So, I never really feel like, it's a battle for who's going to win or who's going to do better. It's always just like, you go out there and ride.
That's riding for yourself. If somebody rides good, you want to go out and ride good also. You want to ride to please yourself, not to necessarily beat somebody, Bike riding is something you do with friends. You ride with the people you have fun with. Ride your best. Ride for yourself.
Paging Dr. Goretti. Paging Dr. Goretti.
Dr. Goretti. Paging Dr. Goretti.
Everyone has a potential.
Dr. Goretti.
Dr. Goretti.
Have you realized yours? Are you a prodigy? Prodigy Internet. Call 1-800-PRODIGY.
Doctor.
Another free movie ticket. Cool. Hey, kid, that was my idea. So remember me when you vote for the NBA All-Stars. $10. Not bad.
Hey, kid, you won that because of me. So I'd appreciate a vote for Tim Duncan.
Sprite NBA All-Star Payoff. You could win free money and movie tickets. So no matter what anyone says, vote however you want.
All right. Hey, kid.
Man, don't you guys have games to play?
Sorry I'm late. Stanley?
Excuse me, sir. You see?
The Integra from Acura. Go places. Lease the Integra today at your local Acura dealer.
Monday's newest hit.
Who's been hurt?
On Third Watch, the crew pulls together.
You be hero, all right?
For an incredible save. A decision to trust in love again. And a new partner with his own set of rules.
If you're going to be with him, you're going to be around stuff. Don't see it. That's all.
All new Third Watch, NBC Monday.
While we were away, look at Shaq's body language. Fatigue definitely setting in as he talks with Robert Horry. Let's go to Ahmad.
All right, thanks, Bob. During that last foul, Shaq looking up over at Phil Jackson, maybe looking for a replacement, but as I look at John Sally, it appears as if he has his sweatsuit sewn on.
Now, Bob, it's interesting. Portland has 4 team fouls. When they throw that ball into Shaq, Brian Grant is not in foul trouble. Is this where they start fouling him every time he touches the ball?
Lakers already over the foul limit. Portland will be, as Doug said, on their next one. Rice fires the jumper, and he's off with it. Rebound taken by Pippen.
Go back inside to Rasheed Wallace. That's the guy who's getting it done for you inside.
They do. That ties the game, +1. 17 for Wallace. Foul on Shaq is his second.
This is a great play by Scottie Pippen. The screen roll, he lost it just over the outreach hand. And what about the athletic play by Rasheed Wallace? Mike Dunleavy loves it. And if Wallace can knock this free throw, then the Blazers have taken a 1-point lead.
It remains tied, but Smith comes up with the loose ball, and there's an immediate Laker foul.
So now he's a great free throw shooter, so you give up a second shot. Now remember, Portland had 2 offensive rebounds in the entire first half. This half they have about 6 or 7. They're getting second shot opportunities, and it's changed the game. That's 5 fouls now on Kobe Bryant.
Meanwhile, Phil Jackson's team has shot 3 for 18 in the fourth quarter.
Big miss there by Steve Smith, normally a big-time free throw shooter, but, you know, Kobe and Glenn Rice sat for a long time to start that fourth period. Now you come back in and you have to get their rhythm again. Sometimes, Bob, you can't get that going once again. You need that sweat to be in that rhythm. Right now, they don't have that. And if you go inside the Shack, I think that Portland's going to foul him as soon as he catches the ball.
Portland by 1, their first lead since 32-30. At the beginning of the second quarter. Kobe Bryant can't reclaim the lead, and Grant claims the rebound.
If it's working, go back to it. That screen roll with Wallace and Scottie Pippen, run him through there again, see if he can get him the ball in the post once again.
Pippen on the move, scoops it up and in.
When a play works, keep running it until they stop it. That time they were so concerned about Wallace, Scottie Pippen turned the corner and got the score.
Bryant against Pippen. There was contact. Pippen looked at Ronnie Nunn for the call and didn't get it, and Bryant put it down.
Well, Scottie knows he's got 5 fouls. He was trying to foul him out of the game. He's got to stay up on his feet and defend that shot.
Wallace, catch and shoot, way short. Stoudamire at 5'10", wins the battle for the rebound. And Portland asks for a timeout.
Right now, Portland is the fresher, quicker team. Damon Stoudamire that time just beat the Laker player to that loose ball. Mike Dunleavy wants a 20-second timeout. That's a critical possession, 1:25 to go. He wants to get a score here. You have plays that you can run that work. Remember now, it was the lob to Wallace on this play. That time they stayed with Wallace. Scottie turned the corner and he got the layup. You go to the other end, Kobe Bryant, little spin move. Scottie tries to bait the official into the foul. He's saying, tell him to stand up. I think Kobe ought to just, not do any talking right now, as he was talking to Scottie as he went down to try to get that foul. But as you read his lips, he tried to say, you better stand up. You better guard me. Now's not the time for that.
I don't know that you want to be mouthing off to the guy many consider the best defensive player of his generation. Mike Dunleavy says he's the best defensive player he has ever been around, and that includes the likes of Bobby Jones and Sidney Moncrief.
Well, how about this? You put him with the other best player of his generation, Michael Jordan, defensively. You think one of the reasons why Chicago won all those championships is because those two guys completely took the 2 and 3 men out of the game every time they played?
Might be. After that timeout, Portland has 3 remaining. The Lakers have 3 plus their 20. 1:25 on the clock.
Same play once again. Now Stoudamire comes off this with a little dribble handoff. He'll look to shoot a jump shot or shoot a 3.
Shot clock down to 7. Stoudamire to Pippen. Crucial 3. No good. Out of bounds 2, Portland.
Remember all the rebound advantage that the Lakers had in the first half? They were plus 10 rebounding. That is not the case. That time, instead of getting it cleanly, they just tried to knock the ball to a player, and it went out of bounds. Again, a new shot clock. Portland getting 3 opportunities here to try to get this to a 3-point lead.
Seconds left.
He won't let Pippen go to his right. He's chasing him off that.
Brian Grant. Shaq came out and got a piece of it. Wallace recovered it and scored. Timeout Lakers, 40.4. They trail by 3.
We've always talked about Portland being one of the best rebounders rebounding teams in the NBA. They were out-rebounded by 10. Rasheed Wallace does not give up on the play. Follows it up, gets a kind bounce, a three-point lead, and Bob, in the fourth quarter, Portland 15-4 on the board.
And the Lakers, who shot 60% in the first half, just frigid in this fourth quarter. 4 for 20 as a team in the fourth quarter.
They had 57 points at half. They now have 86 on my math. Help me out, but that's 29 points they've scored here in the second half. I would say Portland's defense has been pretty good.
Shaq did come out for a block a moment ago, but all things considered, if it's possible for a 300-plus pound man, more than 7 feet tall, to be invisible, that's what Shaq has been in this fourth quarter. He hasn't scored, he hasn't rebounded, he's worn out.
Yes, he has. He played so hard and he expended so much energy. Where are the Lakers going to go for a score here?
If it goes to Shaq, they'll probably foul him right away. Smith knocks it away from Rice. Wallace swings it ahead. Smith is alone. Trailblazers by 5.
What a great block by Steve Smith. That's one of those where you're beaten and you get up in the air and you come from behind and block the shot. Portland has made some sensational plays to take control of this game with 24 seconds to go. The block shot, he uses the left hand so he does not commit the foul. Again, the quick pickup of the loose ball. Wallace with the over-the-shoulder pass. Steve Smith takes his time, measures it, dunks the ball, and the Blazers are now up by 5. Another look at the same play. Glenn Rice trying to create opportunity. Now Steve Smith at 6'8" is a long, lanky guard. He gets his hand up. The key play. And Rasheed Wallace, once again, the guy who needs that emotion to win. This is good emotion by Rasheed Wallace.
Hey! Do you know what time it is? Please, people are trying to sleep down there.
Let nothing stand in your way. The four-wheel drive Passport from Honda.
Love and happiness. Be good to me. I'll be good to you. We'll be together. Walk away with victory.
And a storm in New York with this update. Indy at Philly, the subject of trade rumors which heated up this week. Larry Hughes, 8 points and 4 rebounds in this game. At the other end, the Pacers answering. Sam Perkins, 3-point play. Right now, 3.5 minutes left to play, and it's Philly by 3, 96-93. Let's go back to Bob and Doug in L.A.
Hannah, thank you, and time permitting, we'll take you to the conclusion of the 76ers-Pacers game. A moment ago, Glenn Rice went for the 3 that could have tied it, but a big turnaround. The shot was blocked. A fast break was ignited. Now the Lakers trail by 5 with 24 seconds left.
Well, Ahmad Rashad said, Mike Dunleavy said, what he wants you to do is stay home with all shooters. Don't give up a 3. No double team on Shaq. If you throw the ball inside to him, take the foul.
Harper to get it in. Touched last by the Blazers.
You see, the Blazers have a big, long team on the floor right now, so they're going to switch everything. Stacey Augmon, they're all about the same size, 6'8" to 6'10" right now, so you switch every possession so you don't give up a 3-point shot.
Kobe, guarded by Pippen, around him for the jumper, then cuts it to 3. An immediate foul on Harper, his 4th on the inbound. 18 seconds left.
Now this game is far from over, but with a 3-point lead, Steve Smith shooting these free throws. If I said to you, Coach Costas, you're taking your team, Portland Trailblazers, on a 5-game trip. You're going to start out in Phoenix, then you're going to go to Dallas, then you're going to go to Houston, then to San Antonio, and then to the Lakers. Which two games do you think you'll win on the trip?
Mavericks and Rockets.
And that's
who
the
they
two
lost.
they lost.
And they might wind up beating the Suns and Spurs, which they already have, and the lead here late against the Lakers, which would make it 2 out of 3 against Los Angeles, with a fourth game coming up in late February in Portland. This would be the first time in this series that the road team has won. A tremendous road victory, if it turns out that way for Portland. And it's not lost on players that it's happening in prime time on national television. Smith makes them both. He's got 27 points. The Lakers ask for time. They have 1 left.
Is this a playoff preview from the standpoint of how Mike Dunleavy will play in the playoffs minutes-wise? Look, now we've talked about depth of the Portland Trailblazers. Today, Pippen, 40 minutes, Wallace, 41, Smith, 39, and Stoudamire, 36. He's shortened his bench. He's gone to his star players to play the Lakers' star players, and today it looks like they're going to win out.
And they've done all this without putting Shaquille O'Neal on the free throw line repeatedly.
I think if Phil Jackson could go back through this game, I think that he would have tried to rest Shaquille O'Neal maybe for 2 or 3 minutes during that period of time, maybe brought a Kobe or a Glenn Rice back on the floor so they would have had a score so they could have rested Shaq a little bit. Shaq has run out of gas today, Bob. He's played so hard, but his tank has been empty here at the finish.
Let's take a look at some of what Rasheed Wallace has done earlier in this game.
Got off to a very slow start, but in the third quarter they started going to him. Laid the ball up, played out of the double team, strong finish, squares up, takes AC Green to the basket. And that's why I talked about this young man. We saw such flashes of brilliance from him last year in the playoffs. He's a good kid. If he could just bottle that emotion the right way, he's got all-star talent.
And you see the improvement last season to this. The minutes are up partly because Brian Grant's minutes are down coming off the knee injury. Rasheed Wallace was the 4th pick overall in the 95 draft behind Joe Smith, Antonio McDyess, and Jerry Stackhouse. Can't hit this hard enough because really it's the story of the second half. Shaquille O'Neal, who had 13 points and 14 rebounds in the first half, has been held to 4 points and a single rebound in the second half.
And the rebounding and the second shot, and more importantly, they did not fall in love with that jump shot like they did in the first half. They started attacking inside, and it changed the entire face of this game.
Well, the Lakers had won 16 games in a row until about a week ago. They went into Indiana and lost to the Pacers. This could be their 3rd loss in their last 5. Touch pass to Horry, and Robert Horry buries a 3.
Oh, it's not over. You got to play it to the finish.
15 seconds in a 2-point game. They surround Grant and foul him.
See, Shaq did a great thing there. He knew they were going to foul him. Mike Dunleavy had said, stay at home on the shooters. One of his guys fell asleep and dove in on Shaq, and all in one motion, he kicked it out for a 3-point shot. Watch now Shaq, all in one motion, and the guy playing the man in the corner comes inside. Rasheed Wallace makes a mistake, bites on it, and Horry gets the 3. Now Brian Grant, who's not a good free throw shooter, has got to step up and make these free throws. He's got to make at least 1 here to give him a 3-point lead.
They had to foul in a hurry. They couldn't be choosy about who did it, and Kobe has fouled out. 14.1 on the clock. He misses the first.
See, Bob, little mistakes that guys make during the course of a game, it's how you lose basketball games. Now all the pressure's on Brian Grant. Even though they're still up 2, they need this free throw.
He missed them both. Rebound O'Neal. Timeout, Lakers.
See, I think if Scottie Pippen had it to do all over again, he would have taken a timeout so they could have diagrammed the play to get the ball inbounds to a good free throw shooter. Scottie was getting against the count, had to get it in quickly, found Brian Grant, but you've got to get the ball in the hands of a good free throw shooter in that situation.
Well, late in this game, Rasheed Wallace missed a free throw. Steve Smith missed 1 of 2. Now Brian Grant misses both. If they lose it, they'll look back to what they didn't do at the line.
There's no question, but, Bob, in coaching, and I have coached, obviously, and you try to tell your players, whatever you do, don't leave a shooter. It's the only thing that can beat us right now. And what happens? You come out of the timeout, and you make a mistake. They've taken advantage of it. Now the Lakers have a chance to tie with a 2, or maybe win the game with a 3-point play or a 3-point shot.
The instant Shaq touches it, you foul him, right?
That's exactly right, and Shaq did a smart thing. All in one motion, he passed it. .6 on the clock. The Lakers just used their last timeout. Portland has 3 remaining. Neither team has a 20. Now the question is, will Phil take the ball full court? Many instances, he likes to do that so a guy can get a head of steam up, maybe take the ball to the basket. Remember, that guy puts a hand on him, it's a foul.
Welcome to those of you watching Philly and Indy. Bob Costas with Doug Collins at the Staples Center. The Lakers, with a late flurry, have pulled it within 2. 13.6 on the clock. Their ball at midcourt.
Okay, here we go.
Shaquille O'Neal is on the bench. They're not going to risk letting him be fouled. 10 seconds. Derek Fisher, a 3 for the lead. Way off, air ball. Out of bounds to Portland. Five and a half seconds.
Mike Dunleavy's getting a substitution. He wants to get Stoudamire in as a good free throw shooter for Stacey Augmon. You got Rasheed Wallace down the floor, but you got to get the ball in here to a good free throw shooter.
The Lakers do not have a timeout left. Pippen asked for time rather than risk the steal. Well, Doug, Shaquille O'Neal would likely be the MVP if the season ended now. He may be at season's end. You can't overstate how terrific he's been, with the defensive game stepping up so much, to go with being among the league leaders in scoring, leading the league in field goal percentage, leading in rebounding, second in blocked shots. But because of his deficiencies at the free throw line, here you have a guy who might be the league MVP who is on the bench in the closing seconds of a close game.
There's no question. That's why I've always said Shaquille O'Neal last year was the most dominant player in the game for 3 quarters. But come fourth quarter time, when you can't go to him because of his free throw shooting, it's a problem. Now, Bob, all those things you said are true. I mean, he's been so great this year, but not being able to make the free throws, Phil takes him out of the game. I mean, that's a major move to be able to do that. I mean, those numbers are terrific numbers, but you've got a guy who's a possible MVP who's sitting on the bench, and that's the first rest he's had all night. And it forces a shot by Fisher that's not the shot you want, but that shot clock starts winding down, and there's a little panic, and you try to beat the clock, and that's what happens.
One more look at the last sequence for the Lakers.
See, the ball is swung, and Scottie Pippen is playing him in the long arms of Scottie. Then look at Rasheed Wallace get a hand out there. Tough shot, and then the ball is knocked out of bounds by Glenn Rice. They tried to back pick and get the ball to Glenn Rice, and Portland smartly switched it. That's the play they used to run for Chicago for Michael, and then an ill-advised shot by Derek Fisher. He's put in a tough position. Again, Kobe's on the bench with 6 fouls. Normally you'd get the ball to him and he'd create a shot. So your best one-on-one player is out with fouls, and your most dominant inside player is out because he can't make free throws.
Aren't you glad you don't have to worry about that from the other side of the court anymore?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
On the other hand, if we gave you Kobe and Shaq, would you come back to coach?
No, I like it right here with you, man. I like it right here with you.
Might be tempting, though, huh? Lakers need the quick steal or an immediate foul if they don't get it. Pippen having trouble getting it in, knocked away from Stoudamire and a foul on Fisher.
Boy, that was very close. Isn't it amazing, Bob, with all the space on the floor, how everybody runs to the ball and gives the guy about 1 foot to try to throw the ball into a dead corner. That ball went off Stoudamire's foot, but they called a foul. Very fortunate that time for the Portland Trail Blazers. But you tell guys, don't run together, don't bunch up, space out. And the ball is, and it looks like a youth soccer game. Everybody's right on top of the ball chasing it.
Former teammates Harper and Pippen able to smile at game's end, if in fact it has ended. Stoudamire's 2 for 2 at the line in this game. An 81% free throw shooter for the season. If he makes the next one, the game in effect is over. If he misses this one, though, the Lakers have to push it up the floor for a 3 because they have no timeout.
The only way that Portland can lose this game is if they would foul.
Should be Portland's game. They lead by 4. They'll just back off here. Well, they throw it right to Wallace. And on the interception, the game ends.
Let's watch Portland's reaction here. You know, they shouldn't get too excited. They should be happy. But they want to make the Lakers feel like that they didn't think this was a big upset, that they could do this. And that's a little psychological aspect of it, too. You know, Bob, don't get too excited. This wasn't an accident. We think that we could do this all the time.
But this is a big, big win.
Sure it is.
Taking them to 30-10. The Lakers 33-8. Here's Ahmad.
All right, thanks, Bob. I'm here with Scottie Pippen. And Scottie, this has to be a huge win for you guys, especially due to the fact you guys have played 5 games in 10 days and then come in here and take this game away from the Lakers.
Yeah, it was a big game. You know, we've been on the road for the last 5 games. We've dropped 2 games to Dallas and Houston, and I think since then we've been a little bit rejuvenated. We've been more focused, and today was a big game for us, and we came to play. We stayed in it. We stayed close, and they gave us a chance down the stretch.
Did it make it a little bit more special to come back and beat your old coach, Phil Jackson?
Yeah, it is great. I mean, we're the 2 top teams in the league, so, I mean, anytime we face the Lakers, it's always a big challenge for us. But, you know, it's just a win for us, and we have to try to build off of this.
What about for you? I mean, I've watched you for many years. This is as comfortable as I've seen you in a long time. You got to be comfortable up there in Portland.
Well, I feel very good. You know, I think all of us play very comfortably together. We don't try to force anything. We play well together. We move the ball, and you know, it's just a matter of time before one of us can really get ourselves going. And we just try to be patient and continue to play, and hopefully, you know, something good come out of it.
All right, congratulations to you. Good win. Thanks. All right, back to you, Bob.
Ahmad, thanks very much. Portland now heads home. Their next 4 games are at home. Mike Dunleavy's team wins 3 of 5 on this road trip. The Lakers, meanwhile, have lost 3 of their last 5 on the heels of a 16-game winning streak, beaten by the Pacers, the Sonics, and today, in a whale of a ball game, by the Trailblazers. Once again, the final score from Los Angeles, Portland 95 and the Lakers 91. Tonight on NBC, following your late local news, Saturday Night Live, featuring Jerry Seinfeld and the music of David Bowie. For Doug Collins and Ahmad Rashad, I'm Bob Costas. You've been watching the NBA on NBC and from L.A. Good night, everybody.
A galaxy of NBA stars on NBC next weekend. Shaq, Garnett, Malone, Zoe, Reggie, Duncan, Pippen, Williams, Sprewell, Kobe, and more. Next Saturday, a doubleheader. NBA Showtime 3:30 Eastern, game 4 Eastern. Next Sunday,